morning, everyone.
Do you smell that? My fresh tea smells delicious, but there's something else in the air. It smells like butthurt in here. Is that just me? Right?
No, it's the stench of butter. I do want to issue a little trigger warning before we get started, which I kind of should have put in the video description. There might be some stuff that in this particular video that there might be triggering a bunch of people. A couple of different ways. So just be a little forewarned. We're going to get into some deep shit here. But anyways, welcome everybody. I do have my coffee. Cheshire's got her tea because she's Canadian and weird like that. I like tea too, but so oh man, I don't even know where to begin on this. There's so much stuff that's going on right now. Well, guess we'll start off with a super chat. Thank you.
Ilya for 5 says, "Always in your corner and always have your backs. Love the three of you." Heart. Thanks, Ilya.
And back at you. You always have our support, and you know that. All right, so let's kind of dive into this. First, again. This is going to be a really shitty show, to be honest with you. And I don't mean that as going to be bad qualities. I mean, the topic is really shitty. So be forewarned.
It's kind of rough. I mean, personally, it's whatever to me.
She's
for you, though.
She's chaotic neutral or something. It doesn't really matter. But I think and you still think I'm lawful good, and I'm not. And I would consider myself neutral good, and yet because even by 5D, I don't see the lawfulness at all. But whatever, we'll have that discussion
Steve,
for another day.
You literally go out of your way to follow the rules.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. but that's another topic. I give you a little pushback on that. All right. So anyways, we're going to talk about him pushing a lot. Okay. So let me kind of give you a little backstory what happened. Okay. So a little while ago, a couple days ago, actually, or whenever it was, I had talked to Cheshire and I said, look, I'm going to private my account just to piss off people, just to see what they do. Because I just don't, I mean, these, it's like, well, I don't care. Because I really had no reason to private it. Actually not. Yeah, for the lulz.
For the lulz.
I told her I wanted to see what happens. I was like, if I just randomly private my account, I want to see what happens. By the way, I was not expecting this, but that's what happened, right? So I privated. I even put this out there. I even said on my page, because this is how dumb trolls are. I even told them exactly what I was doing. Like literally told them what I was doing because it didn't matter. These people make up so much crap, it makes no difference to them. And then I told her I'm going to deactivate my account and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
And all hell broke loose because as soon as I deactivated my account, people started making impersonations.
As soon as both me and you were off of Twitter, shitstorm, complete shitstorm. It's amazing.
Now, your account her account actually is temporarily suspended. I mean, that actually is true. So your account is temporarily suspended. Yeah. By the way, both of us hate Twitter. If both of us lost Twitter, I don't think either one of us would even care that much. I have Facebook.
Oh God, no.
I wanted to if people communicate with me mostly on email. Yes, I use DMs through Twitter a lot. That is true, but I could easily just switch that to
yeah, because I wasn't sure what your account was up to, like, as of right now. I know you told me that, like, a couple of days ago that that's what you were doing, but I have no idea what your account is currently.
I've reactivated it.
You've reactivated it now.
Yeah, I've reactivated it. It's still I private. It's still private, but I'll probably unprivatize it too. But yeah, it was strictly just to see what people did. But like I said, we were not expecting this. See, we have this. Chesh and I believe the same thing.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to people.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I don't think you think it was going to be this extreme. Okay, fair enough. But given
the past, I don't know if you've noticed, just in the past couple of weeks, they have since the hearing, they have escalated substantially to right as soon as the hearing was starting. We were starting to see dox attempts. And so I can't say that that it's that far of a jump to start going going that next step. I mean, we've seen accounts going around being like, oh, this is Chesh's mom, and oh, this is this person, and oh, this is that person, as like more joking accounts. But it's also not surprising to see that they've now jumped this shark just because we've watched them escalating over the past week and a half.
Oh, that much I agree with. Yes, absolutely, I do agree with that. What I kind of should have kind of said was, I didn't expect to be this vitriolic and this disgusting, even though, like you said, we put nothing past people. But Chester and I both have said from day one, we both 100% agree on this, I think, that when people don't have the correct information, they fill in with bullshit. And they make stuff
absolutely.
up.
And right? They never have the correct information.
Yes, exactly. We see it all the time, and UNIRock is absolutely famous for this. He literally has no idea what's going on, never does, and he just fills in the blanks with just total BS. And so I personally hold him responsible for everything we're going to be talking about because he fosters this kind of atmosphere. And there will be pushback. He's got my attention now. He wanted my attention. He's absolutely got it. Because everything that's about we're going to talk about, I firmly 100% blame on his bullshit that people have been calling him out on. But now I ask everybody to fully just call this bullshit out publicly. You don't engage with these people. I will ask people, and I've been DMing them, do not engage with any of these trolls. I ask you humbly, don't message them ever. I block them outright. Yeah, this is me asking a request is giving an order. This is, again, I ask this because I see what happens. As soon as people start engaging with them, they feel emboldened. And what you're going to see tonight is pretty vile and pretty vitriolic and pretty damn disgusting. And if they do it to me, they'll do it to you. And I'm used to it. I don't, like I said, they can troll me all they freaking want. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. It bothers me when they troll my friends. People know that. But now they've got my family involved. And that now they have my attention. And I will make it very public that this is what the shitlords do. And I want everybody to know this is the main reason why I left these people. Bool left these people. Rhetoric left these people. Because all these people have the same thing in common. This is what they do. They shitpost, they make up narratives, and they try to do character assassination. They've done it to me for, what 3 years now? And again, perfectly
going
fine.
On 4, I think. Going on 4.
4 years. 4 freaking years. Just because I had the audacity to call them out on their bullshit and stand up to them. And for 4 years, they've been doing this. And now
Steve, people are already misunderstanding you. People have already misunderstood in saying that you're saying it is UNIRock. No, that's not what he said.
No, that's not what I said. Did I say
that?
It's talking about.
No,
I didn't.
No, that's not what you said.
You said you blame UNIRock because he fosters the atmosphere.
Yes.
Right. There you go. TLDR.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying. People need to be very careful when they start running with these things and hearing what they want to hear, because that's not what I said. I know what UNIRock has said. People have sent me his screenshots, and we will be talking about some of the things. And some of the things is just completely ridiculous. I mean, he has accused me of attempted murder, for God's sake. I mean, how psychotic is freaking that? Right? He's now saying that I'm being subpoenaed for something. What the hell does that even mean? What the hell would I be subpoenaed for? By the way, public records. People can go check this stuff. This is what I'm saying. When you run narratives that are so outlandish that people can go verify and find out you're full of shit and they still support you, something's wrong. Something's seriously wrong with that. For example, with the whole, Steve was, was it attempted murder, right? Where's the police records on that? Oh, there was none. Oh, it was made up story, we find out. Oh, no kidding. So, yeah, and people might say, well, Steve's, a little bit upset. Well, yeah, because they involve my family, and shouldn't I be? If they want to be called that triggered, whatever. I don't call it triggered. I call it, hey, they involve my family now.
This is the same group of people who got super duper upset that you questioned whether or not KJ was telling the truth about her child's illness. You at no point did you bring up her child. At
Absolutely
no point
not.
did you say anything about her kid. You asked about what she was saying about this child, and there's a difference between those things. But those people were super duper upset then. But the lack of anything that we're seeing now is like.
None of them have given a shit so far about what I put out. And I've already made a lot of this stuff public. Actually, I think I made it all public already, either my Facebook or my community tab page. And so, I even though I haven't posted on Twitter because I'm doing a sabbatical for a week in support of Cheshire being suspended because I'm against cancel culture. Go Chesh. What is this? Avenge the Queen?
All hail the Goblin Queen, avenge me!
And so
Here's the
I don't
thing,
mind that. I don't
think
give a
that
shit. I can go a week without Twitter. It doesn't bother me in the
there
least.
is. I'm just taking a break. This is great. I have no problems with this whatsoever. I use Twitter as a fun playground to interact with people who watch the shows and make friends and chat with those people that I've made friends with. And once in a while, I get into stupid arguments with stupid people, and it's like, it's fine.
That's Twitter in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Is that what Twitter is?
I mostly use Twitter. The ironic thing is they want to take me down, but I'm the one who trolls Steve the most.
Yeah, they would have no content if they didn't have us. I don't think. Actually, pretty sure.
Well, that's why we were both gone, and a bunch of fake us came up, because without any fake, there needs to be us for them to have any purpose. Hanson for two said, "I'd be a mad pheasant if you had no Twitter." Humph.
Yeah. Well.
Well, see, that's just it.
Facebook.
That's just it. Like, it's just a few jackasses that really ruined it for him. That's pretty much it, right? Bunch of jackasses decide to go around and tick a box that says, "Hey, this is," and false flag an account after we did what, Steve? Is this a good segue to our first slide?
Yeah, we mean Red's thing post.
Yep.
Yeah. Matter of fact, dude, you read my mind because I literally just put up on my screen.
So for the people asking for post that UNIRock has anything to do with this, and UNIRock's fans have anything to do with this.
Here you go.
I am completely blaming that group, right? Not him specifically, but that group, because Jason did accuse me of. Literally in his videos, he accused me of attempted murder, and then he makes up all this stuff on Twitter. And by the way, I don't follow him on Twitter. I'm blocked, but people do send me some stuff, and 99% of it I ignore, and I ask people to do the same. Why bother with BS? Because again, we only address evidence, not false accusations. But there are sometimes you've got to just nip things in the bud. This is one of those rare times, and I want everybody to know what he's been doing and what his groups have been.
There's nothing I enjoy more. I'm glad Red's caught this, because I caught the same thing. Red's rhetoric is mass false striking accounts that impersonate Steve and his friends. You can't false strike an account for impersonation if they're actually impersonating someone.
God. I mean, okay. And by the way, I really want people to know this first and foremost. I have been impersonated for 4 years now. Seriously, when we left those shitty people that we always talk about, there was fake accounts with me. I mean, in fact, one of them was actually being read online on air in a video in real time, where I said that's not even me, and everything kind of grinded to a halt. And they were like, what's going on here?
I just even recently showed people pretending to be you on a divorce forum.
Yeah. I mean, but this has been on 4 years now, and I used to tell people, Bool, have I not told people for 4 years? Hey, I got people making fake accounts of me and pretending to be me, and sending messages to people trying to pretend to be me. This is nothing new.
I also want to know.
Kyle was. You want to know how old this shit is, people? Kyle was on board with this when I met him, and that was back, a year after it started. So yeah, the non sequitur show started. The non sequitur show started about a year after the Great Debate debacle happened.
Yeah, and during the Great Debate debacle, these people were making fake accounts of me, were they not?
Yes,
I have
they
still
were.
Screenshots of them.
Yes. In fact, one of them, who I will name, Mr. Nate Brody, yours truly, Nate Brody, made multiple fake accounts just so he could troll Steve and I on Facebook.
Yeah, but he didn't impersonate me. So let's clarify that. He did make fake accounts. He went on Facebook.
He did not impersonate.
Yeah.
But he didn't impersonate anybody. He impersonated himself. But
he does make fake accounts.
He makes fake accounts to troll.
Simply to troll. Yeah. But I'm talking about the actual impersonation accounts. People pretending to be me, sending messages to people pretending to be me. That's been going on for 4 years.
That has.
This also has another accusation in it, right? So first there's an accusation of false mass striking, which by the next sentence debunks itself. Then after not caring that Steve and his friends have done exactly that to Steve's criticizers for years. Steve, what fake account have you ever made impersonating somebody else?
0. There's only one account I've ever used to tweet to anybody besides like the Caffeine Corner. Well, even that doesn't. I don't even tweet on that one. I mean, the only thing I use on that one is to put things out there. But as far as engagements, I've never used any other account than my Steve McRae _ That's it. That's the only Twitter account I've ever used in any conversation ever on Twitter.
Then it's also got this next.
I just post.
They even share and follow them. I don't recall ever sharing or following any impersonation account. The only one that I think we ever came across that we said, hey, you need to change something about your account, was one that was impersonating KJ and was doing such a good job. Like, it was clearly a parody account. Like, it was supposed to be parodying her. But it did such a good job. We started being like, wait, is this actually KJ or is this the parody account? And we all unanimously agreed that, okay, listen, whoever is doing this account needs to change something in their name because they're too good.
Yes. I remember that. No, I do remember that. Because again, parody
and we all spoke out about it.
Yeah, parody is fine. I look, parody is flattery. If you want to have 1,000 parody accounts about me, I couldn't care less. Never flagged a single one of those. Impersonation is a completely different thing.
Yeah, there is something that I do want to point out. When you go around a ban on Twitter, that is against terms of service. So if you've had an account that's been removed or suspended, if you go around that by making a new account, so people who have multiple accounts after getting banned, like Reds' puppy, their account is automatically already against terms of service just in its existence. So I'm not going to tell anybody to mass flag anyone, but things are against terms of service. Just saying.
So let me ask you this. Who the hell have we ever supported that impersonate anybody then? Oh, wait, nobody we figured out? So again, this is a person with a very sick, addled mind that just basically fills in the blanks. And this is something why Manya and I stopped giving UNIRock information to begin with, because we recognized this is what he did. Mm-hmm. We recognized he didn't have any compunction for the truth whatsoever. He didn't care. He even told us, people believe anything. I'll fix it later if I need to.
They impersonated Manya. They impersonated Manya, remember? No, they did. Remember? And it just so happened that when the fake golden unicorn account disappeared was the exact same time ProLib disappeared.
Yeah, after you know, I hadn't flagged an impersonation account, and I'm just saying Anti-Ordinary left the YouTube that same day after it got removed.
Yeah, Helios makes a good point. Golden Unicorn for 5 says, Jason, his gang impersoned me on YouTube, making fun of my sexual experience just to invalidate my arguments without adding anything of substance. Shift for 5 says, there is a rumor that Chesh is being sued by a skin company. Any truth? And what about Nate's 50K subs? Crazy. What?
Okay, I don't know anything about that. He doesn't have 50K subs and what skin company. I can tell you right now, Cheshire is not being sued. I'm not being subpoenaed. All this is BS. I don't know why people even bother watching these people that just come up with stories. It's like story time. And by the way, I sit back and I laugh at the stuff with Ruhif and Cheshire and Bool because we know what's going on.
You want to know how I found out? You want to know how I found out that I may or may not be getting sued? UNIRock said he wasn't going to talk about it. Okay. Somebody sent me a screenshot saying, hey, this is Uni's saying this. And I was like, what?
Hospital says, has Uni corrected his life? No. Look, UNIRock does this for a living. If you go look at the Phoenix Enigma, they point out this guy's been doing this forever. He basically involves himself in a controversy. He'll try to just throw in monkey wrenches to get people talking, so people go watch his stuff, and then he profits off it. This is his modus operandi. Has been for years.
There's also been a tweet, right? There's been a tweet to what he does because he just hates you so much now. Well,
isn't the fact that
yes.
After the Non Sequitur show thing, the death of the Non Sequitur show, we actually were in support of UNIRock at first. Until he started throwing monkey wrenches into something that was going on back then.
It's called lying, though, yeah.
And he was lying. He was making shit up.
He started lying.
Yeah, and when we were like, why did you do that? You're not... Now we have to go back and correct that. And that happened multiple times. And it's just like, we don't want to have to constantly clean up your mess. Please stop. And he wouldn't, so then he did a 180 basically that day.
Oh, he there's apparently what it comes down to is there is no boner like a Steve hate boner. It's addicting.
Yeah.
Steve, you're one hell of a drug. Some people just can't quit you.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, okay, so Nate has 30,000 subs now because he had a video that had like 200,000 views, which is fine. I mean, look, I don't give a crap how many subs he has. He is dishonest. He's straight up dishonest. I have multiple videos showing that he made fake accounts to troll Bool and I. Everything he got wrong about the non sequitur show. He started off with saying there wasn't even a business. He got that part wrong. Yeah, so I mean, I have a very long history with him, but his how many fans he has no bearing on mine. But I want my people to know, the people that watch this stuff, that everything he's ever said about the non sequitur show, he got wrong. Like literally got wrong, and it'll be shown after all this is done. We are going to point all this out.
However, there is something to be said for when you have people behaving in this manner and cultivating this kind of following, this kind of allowing this kind of behavior to flourish within their communities, and even encouraging it when it comes to people like Uni and like Nate, when there are people who are bigger than them signal boosting them. There is no problem with Nate growing his own channel and doing whatever he wants if he just fucking leaves us alone. But he doesn't do that. Instead, he's going to make wild accusations about Sweet Heathen. Instead, he's going to accuse people based on their skin tone of lying about sexual assault. These are, if you support this kind of behavior and you allow this, it's going to fester and it's going to bring you down. Are they going to get little upticks? Sure, but ultimately they're going, look at what happened, look what just happened to Matt Dillahunty. These people aren't pulling you up. These people aren't boosting. A really good example, In Time. These people aren't boosting you up. These people aren't actually supporting you. They're using you and dragging you down. That's what's happened. That's what's going to happen, and that's what's going to continue to happen. How ridiculous is it that UNIRock and Nate need to go after Manya if he's got 30K subs? Well, what is he doing talking about Manya's 100K channel?
Well, first
not
of all,
even.
Hang on.
Sorry, not 100K.
In fact, you only got those 30K within a day or two. He only had like 10,000.
No, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You think that he's going to stop now? Oh, I hit 30. I'm going to stop now.
No, not at all. But maybe now that he's getting bigger, he might, because people are going to find the ways over here, and people are going to find us pointing out his duplicitous. Yes, I mean, I don't think he wants that. He wanted exposure to begin with, but now he's getting popular. He's going to do what ProLib did, maybe, and just ProLib just wiped his channel, but he stopped talking about any of this stuff because people were finding out that he was lying through his freaking teeth, and he couldn't have that because he had a real job.
ProLib definitely wiped his own channel, and he definitely didn't get nuked because he was definitely not the Mania account.
Yeah, again,
I'm just saying, we don't know.
I don't know. It is odd. It is very odd.
Yeah. So it's awfully convenient that those two things happen at the exact same time. We don't know for sure. I'm just saying that maybe it's other things.
Well, it's just awfully coincidental that the day an impersonation account got terminated, like Anti-Ordinary's channel, she abandoned it, and then the day Manya's impersonation account got terminated, ProLib's abandoned his. I mean, again, correlation isn't causation, but there is something to be said. The fact that both of them were doing very shady shit, right? So,
well, the point is that we don't know, so we can't say that, oh, he had this going on, or hey, he deleted his channel. We don't know that he did that. That's all I'm saying. It could be this other thing. It could be 7 bajillion other things. The answer is we don't know. He's gone. And who cares? Yeah. Fuck him.
BT Post says, I can't believe that Nick was on a panel on the stream with Uni. I couldn't believe my eyes. Oh, believe it. We have absolutely nothing to do with Nick Suter and In Time. There's a lot of stuff going on.
I do like BT Toast. But, BT Toast is cool people.
Yeah, BT Toast is cool. Yeah. But I mean, I was fooled by Nick. I really thought he gave a shit about us. He didn't. He threw me, Sweet, Cheshire, Bool, everybody else under the bus. Just to save his own skin, and lied about all of us just to save his own skin. We will not tolerate that.
About what? He didn't have anything to save. Like there was nobody making any attacks against him.
Oh, I think they were behind the scenes. Things are coming out.
You think
yeah. He puts 2 and 2 together and doesn't get 5. Great. Yeah, I think that had a lot to do with it. people aren't going to know what the hell we're talking about, but it'll be eventually made public. But yeah, we don't support dishonest behavior. We don't just support lying. We don't support channels that are duplicitous. And I will call it out. And if people want to shit on me for it, that's fine. But what I'll tell people is this. Since they have my attention now, and I've talked, oh, by the way, did you get the link to Red's? He was taking a nap. He wanted to come in. Cool.
No, because you never told me to get a link to Red's.
Well, I kind of forget about
God damn it,
but,
Steve.
yeah, well,
Why would I give a
we're
link to Red's if I didn't know he was wanted to be
Give a
in
link to
here?
Red's, but because I have my attention, like I said, my supporters and my Patreon and my members, half of them, give or take, didn't want me kind of addressing the stuff on this channel, except for on Caffeine Corner. And I respect that. They want the science, they want the philosophy, but I can't please everybody. So what I think I might do is I actually have another channel, right? I have the Great Debate Community channel. Link in the video description. I might use that channel to start addressing these people more often. If they want my attention, I think they've got it. But I'm going to use that channel for that because the stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight is reprehensible, morally reprehensible, and not enough people are calling it out from these other sites. Matter of fact, Chester had mentioned Nate. These people that are platforming Nate, nobody called out his bullshit from that side. I actually had Hogtie Champ. He went after Cheshire. I messaged him and sent him things that Nate were saying on Twitter. He agreed and said Nate should have never said these things. I will have a conversation with them. Don't know whatever happened. But then I started saying more stuff to him, and said, this is the person you're supporting. Haven't heard back from him since then.
I'll wait for my apology. That's totally never gonna come.
Right?
I drank all my tea already.
You were straight up correct. Did I think I showed you the email I sent him. I was like, hey, you went after Cheshire, but she was spot on correct about him. And he's like, because he's like, well, Nate has good videos. Really? So you know for a fact that he used to have videos trolling me, just to make videos on this whole atheism thing, just to troll me, that he got wrong, that actual logistician told him he was wrong, that Matt Dillon had the Iron Raw prop up as, oh, look, Nate has refuted Steve. No, he never did, ever.
I would love to see one of them try to explain why Nate's video is correct in comparison, like have that discussion. Never gonna happen. On the other hand, though, keep in mind that what Hogtie was saying, to be clear, what?
What video is correct?
The Nate's video.
Nate's video. Yeah, but which one?
Yeah, if the one about atheist or agnostic rocks.
Oh, okay, yeah. He got those wrong.
I would be so happy. I would love to see, because keep in mind, the video when Hogtie was saying that, because I don't want to misrepresent him, when he was saying that Nate gets stuff right, he was referring to the Non Sequitur Show videos. The Non Sequitur Show legal case that Nate has been following. So I don't want to misrepresent what Hogtie was saying. He wasn't saying that necessarily the ones about philosophy were correct. He was specifically talking about the Non Sequitur Show ones. Right. Which is even worse.
Yeah, because they weren't.
Yeah, that's not helping his case, because none of it's right.
And listen, I didn't say I was helping him. I just said I didn't want to misrepresent what he was saying. Golden Unicorn for 10 said, going by Jason's logic, I will say it was him behind that abhorrent tweet about Steve's daughter, because he hasn't condemned it. Why hasn't he condemned it? Because he wants to use that to make a point. Bet ya.
Yeah,
I'm making a bet.
It's possible, but I don't think it was. I think I do know who it was. Or I have or at least probabilistically.
I have a couple ideas.
It's definitely from his camp. Oh,
here's the thing: is that Uni's not going to do his own dirty work most of the time. He doesn't even do his own research. He gets everybody to do it for him. So
now, does UNIRock have other fake accounts that I think are him? Yes. Did I think this one was him? No.
Oh yeah.
But again, these are just guesswork. But see, the difference to us and UNIRock is we'll at least say when it's our opinion, and it's guesswork. But it is based upon other factors. There is somebody out there right now that is doing some majorly shady stuff. It is not Uni that I'm referring to in this particular instance, but somebody who's very, very related to him. And we know about this stuff. But certain things can't be made public yet, but they will. Here's the thing. Truth always finds a way. Public things always come out public. Like this whole court thing, all these things are public record. Everything that Uni's ever said will come out to be wrong. I mean, you can go look it up. But he caters to a very small echo chamber that doesn't go look for these facts. He caters to those 40 or 50 people that donate to him, that don't bother looking at facts because they don't care. As long as there's a narrative, and people can shit on me and Cheshire and Bool and Reds. That's all that matters. They don't care about the facts. But I think you guys do want to know the facts. That's why when people message me, I give them all the information. Do you know how many times people have said, hey, I DM'd Steve, and I asked him, and he told me. Or he gave me this.
Exploratory Minds for 10 says, I'll admit I had suspicions about Nick, but he dropped like a lead balloon. Never expected a full-on low drop like that. But now, with hindsight, though, I see it more clearly on past videos with him.
We do too, and it sucks because I really cared about him. But he fooled us all. He really, honest to God, did.
Oh, I saw that shit coming a mile away.
Cheshire did. No, straight up, Cheshire did. I will give her full credit for that. It sucked too because it put a strain on Cheshire and I, because I didn't want to have to admit that Nick was capable of being dishonest, but she was right, and I will fully admit when Cheshire's right, and I'll say when I think she's wrong.
If you ever see anybody, if you ever see, Steve is so tentative about calling out when somebody's lying. He is so careful about being like, no, well, is he really lying? Maybe that's just how he felt. He is so much about giving people the benefit of the doubt all the time, where I have to be like, Steve, listen to me.
Well,
does this count as lying?
Okay, but
hey, once we get there, he's right. He'll be like, yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, because I say, on my defense, at least when I get to that point, I have to be, I'm assured myself. I have done my due diligence, and I feel confident enough, because I don't like to falsely accuse people of lying.
Yes.
But there are times, I mean, if you, me, Reds, Bool, Ruhif, and a bunch of other people all say, hey, look, yeah, this person has outright lied, there's probably a reason for it.
Todd is saying that me and Manya are lovers now. I don't know when that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait, this is news now? We just call that Saturday night.
When has that ever not been the case?
Yeah,
the thing is that you'll see this happen. There is a very specific type of person that does not want me around. And I've seen it a couple of times where people have said like, oh, don't bring Chesh, oh, don't have this person around, oh, look out for this. And there are always people who are trying to manipulate what's going on. Every single time, it's manipulative people, because it's the person who's fucking lying. Every single time, it's always been this. I have yet to meet somebody who's like, oh, don't have this person around, and then they aren't full of shit. It's really simple. It's just poignant questions. Yeah, because a lot of the time
told me somebody not to hang around with you or get rid of you. He said, dude, Chesh needs to get away from your channel. I was like, screw off. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, okay, first of all, you got an issue with Chesh, take it up with her. She's a big girl, I'm not gonna white knight for her. But you know, if you have some reason why you think she's detrimental to the channel, please tell me. He had nothing. Oh, well, you know, she's talked to this person. So what? I mean, has she lied to them? Well, yeah, okay, about what? Could you give me a straight thing? Could you answer, I have never seen you lie to anybody. Now, I'm not saying that you haven't behind the scenes, because I don't follow everyone that you follow and talk to, but to my knowledge, I've never seen her lie. She surely hasn't lied to me, because I'd kick her ass. And I mean that, like, non-literally, of course. Figuratively, I'm not pulling a Jim here. I'm not going to smash her head into the wall. Hashtag Jim.
At me, bro.
But I mean, she knows we have that kind of rapport where I'm completely honest with her and she's completely honest with me. I have to have that in my business dealings and in my friendship dealings. I don't expect my friends to lie to me, and I'm certainly not going to lie to them. And that's why we have such a strong friendship. This is why Rhetoric and I have got along for what, 5, 6, 7, I don't know how many years it's been. It's because we never lie to each other. Me and Bool have never lied to each other. Well, Bool can't lie, period. So I guess that's really not saying much, but.
Oh man, I saw that recently. Somebody saying that, oh, because you're saying that Bool can't because he's autistic, well, maybe I'm autistic, and so therefore I can't lie. And it's like, that's not how that works.
Well, no, it's not how, look.
Ableist fucks. You ableist fucks. I don't lie because I don't lie. It has nothing to do with me being autistic.
Right?
Not that he can't. Yeah, they can't. They think they take out of scope, right? Doesn't mean he's not able to. He's perfectly able to lie. He's not like mentally compromised like that. It's just he does it.
I've literally okay. So I've pulled a Kyle before. I've asked Bool to lie for me if it came up. However, it was like surprise things, not I'm going to fuck your channel over. It was like, hey, it's somebody's birthday, surprise. I'm doing this thing. Don't tell them this thing. There's and could Bool do it? Yeah, he can keep a secret.
Yeah, that's
Judge asked Bool to lie for her. Oh my god.
Again, lying in of itself is not detrimental. It is. I think. I hate appealing to consequentialism, but in all the case that it does.
Listen, I lied to myself for 40 years. I can't do it anymore. Just can't do it anymore. I lied to myself for 40 years.
Oh, it feels bad, man.
All right, so let's get into the meat of this stuff. Can you show the screenshot from the fake account? And we'll get into the actual DMs from them. So again, this is one of many fake accounts that have been popping up. So I asked people, if you see anything suspicious, it's not me. I have one Twitter account that I'll ever DM you with. I have one Twitter account that I'll ever message anybody with. That's it. Any other account that I have a Twitter is show related or whatever. I have never DM'd anybody on any other account that I'm aware of, and I've certainly never had a conversation with any other person other than my actual Twitter account ever. So anybody thinks that all these fake accounts are me, they're not. Nor do I know who half of them are. Some of them I know who the parody accounts are, a couple of them, but most of them I have no idea, nor do I ask. I even tell people, I don't even want to know who you are. I don't want to know. You know?
Boy of Ink for 5 says, I know how Bool feels about lying. I hate to lie too. So let me read this out. I am me. I am hoping to find out exactly how this happened. All my passwords have been reset, so I am secure now. But how much they might have taken or copied, I do not know yet. This is not how Steve types. I tried the police. I was going to do this one next. I was going to show the actual fake account first, but that's fine. Let's do this one. Go ahead. Okay. I tried the police. They sent me to the sheriff, and until I get an answer from Twitter email, I have to wait. Never a cop around to do the right thing. Boy of Ink just got in my way for reading. Hold on a second. There's a big banner over the front.
Yes, Justin says they're going to
I appreciate your $5. Get out of the way.
He says lying is not bad, isn't bad. Well, yeah, they'll definitely take that out of context, because there are times, even as a virtue ethicist, that lying is probably the better thing to do. Now, do we avoid it? Yes. Bool and I completely try to avoid it as much as possible. I can't remember the last time I even told a white lie. It's been so long. But when people do, there are reasons for it. Like Jess are saying, hey, don't tell this person, come to have a surprise for them. Those are little white lies, and they're perfectly fine. Or if you're going to hurt somebody's feelings, there are times to lie rather than hurt their feelings. Who wants to be a brute, honest piece of shit that, hey, how do I look in these pants? Oh, you look fat. Oh, let's see how well that works out for you.
How many people I'm fine when asked how their day is aren't actually fine?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ilya for 5 says,
that is true. I think I've done that before too. So.
Ilya says for 5, Bool, don't tell Chesh and Steve that I love you the most, LOL. It's okay, I love Bool the most too. I think we all do.
And by the way, when a woman says, look, or even a man, doesn't matter, says, look, do I look fat in these pants? There's ways of letting them know they don't fit properly without being mean to them, right? Especially as a person who worked in the clothing lines. You don't want to tell a customer, yeah, your hips look huge in this. There are much better ways to approach it. Like, hey, let's try this, see if it's better form-fitting, stuff like that. So, but anyways,
let me finish reading this.
By the way, let people know, this is actually a DM that was sent to somebody impersonating me. This is not me. So
yeah.
In fact, I'm not even sure why it even has my thing at the top. Somehow it's changed. I don't know. But this is not me.
This was sent to
you.
You notice? Well, yeah, but how do they? Is this? Why is my not URL? What the Twitter handle at the top?
You tell me. That. You took the picture. But anyway,
I didn't take this picture.
Oh, well,
this is who was this?
Did they send this to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says you can. So they're trying to. That says you can no longer send direct messages to this person at the bottom. So this is a screenshot of that person. What they said to you.
Twitter handle at top.
Because they sent it to you that's their DMs to you.
Oh. Okay.
That's their DMs
I was like,
you.
This is weird.
Relax.
All right. I just like to get everything cleared. All right, so
Steve's got too much coffee already. Never a cop around to do the right thing. You'll know it's me tonight. I'll give you a wink at the beginning. But, oh, I'm so goddamn angry. I really do feel like my head is going to rupture. I saw your messages getting frozen peas for back of my head. Good trick to stop headaches. Okay.
What?
I guess I wasn't clear when I was talking about the fake Steve on that divorce court forum. If you're gonna impersonate somebody to this degree and you're gonna start sending messages, at least have a bit of an understanding of cadence. Different people speak differently, and that comes across in writing. At no point would Steve have ever said, never a cop around to do the right thing, because this has nothing to do with the police. They can't do anything about this.
Okay. So two things.
Stupid.
One, you just switch it back to the other one real quick.
This one?
Oh, and yeah, Twitter,
the
live chat's mad that was in Comic Sans. So whoever you are that took that original screenshot, because I can't see who it is. If you're using Comic Sans, and chat is mad at you. Just to make you aware.
Yeah, by the way, I don't use Comic Sans. So show the DM actually, please. But it's not so much even the cadence. People can really recognize my style because I'm very, very succinct. And it's when I try, even most of the time when I'm writing in a DM. Even then, I'm just getting the information out. I don't mean to be like short. It's just that I'm very, very brief, and especially when I'm on my laptop, because I have to actually plug it in a USB thing because my laptop keyboard's going out. So I'm typing, and I just keep it short. Or if I'm too lazy to even get my laptop USB keyboard, if I just sent you like an emo, like a happy face or a thumbs up. That usually means that I'm laying down and I'm just looking over at my laptop. But yeah, so this doesn't even sound like me because I don't write like this. I have enough sample size that people can tell how I write. It's pretty much the same. And people would go, what the hell are you talking about if I start talking about a cop around to do the right thing? What the hell does that even mean?
Well, the thing is like the context here. Very rarely would I also ever hear you describe a headache as going to rupture. That is not, these are not phrases if I got this message for you, I'd be like, are you drunk? Retrocon for 5 says, is our YouTube community landscape forever toxic now, or will we ever return to the halcyon days of debunking G-Man or disproving Flat Earth? Okay, first of all, we're not going to waste time with G-Man. Let's be real here. Why? Yeah. Not happening. Disproving Flat Earth, I think, has a strong enough community in Reds and in Fight that I don't think we're going to do that very often. We will still do it, I'm sure. Yeah. But I don't think that will happen on Non Sequitur as much because it kind of got burned out by Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle, for burning all the Flat Earthers out of the Non Sequitur. Which is what,
by the way, I and Bool both had said to Kyle, this is way too much Flat Earth stuff. He didn't care. It's like, well, people are watching, blah, 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 money. I'm like, I don't care. I really don't care. You're oversaturating the stuff. And he's the one always talking about, the show. And I'm like, you're making the show crap. And by the way,
Fracky for 5 says, I am me, and what the fuck, Uni? Question.
Yeah, somebody that sent me this, they say that I'm blaming Uni for his daughter being harassed and then denying he blamed him. Oh, I am blaming UNIRock for fostering this type of atmosphere. Absolutely 100% I'm blaming Uni for fostering this type of atmosphere.
Yeah, that's not what anybody said.
Yeah. They can't get anything right. They're listening, but they can't get anything right.
Basic communication skills. Uni needs to take responsibility for the content and fostering of the community and encouragement of this kind of behavior. That is blaming Uni, but not saying that Uni himself is the one who made the account. Dear God,
those are two very different things.
Yeah, I like I said, he fosters this type of atmosphere because he makes shit up that we can actually show that he made up. Like, for example, Steve tried to commit attempted murder. I mean, come on, kind of
Steve,
stuff.
was that just said? Where did that just come from? Did that come from UNIRock stream?
So
UNIRock is... So so UNIRock is currently getting the thing that was said wrong, thus fostering
Correct.
and justifying and
people are telling him wrong information.
Righteous. Oh, right, but he gets all of his information from people telling. He doesn't get a fucking sources.
Correct.
He doesn't do any of the work.
No, he doesn't.
This is the environment that he's fostering. That's his own responsibility. That's how that works. The same thing with the recent dox threat that was going around. That was getting fostered and getting encouraged by people's behavior in side chats, and they still refuse to take responsibility for it. Mr. P said, Chesh, at this point in time, you should be the one most equipped at impersonating Steve. Why are you doing such a shitty job? Listen, I would be the best at impersonating Steve.
Probably.
Let's be real here. I am also the person who would be the best between me and Sweet. The people who want to take Steve down should be kissing our asses. Because we would be the best people.
She's got PayPal. She'd take a bribe.
I would absolutely take a bribe. If you pay me enough, I will absolutely. You want to knock Steve down a peg or two? Pony up. I got you.
So another conversation is going on. Like I said, supposedly me and Ben are being subpoenaed, and I'm like, really? What for? I'm kind of curious here.
Yeah, that's okay. Apparently, I'm going to prison.
Apparently, you're going. Yeah, I'm going. Apparently, yeah, this is another thing. Uni falsely accusing people of crimes they've never committed. But, I mean, supposedly, like, Glenn's going to federal prison. I've supposedly sold transcripts that never happened. Uni lied about that, again, fostering an atmosphere of bullshit. And you're going to a Canadian prison for something? Is that right?
I don't know. I have no idea what for, but apparently it's happening.
It's like complete projection. It's because they know this is all winding down. They know in another couple weeks all this will eventually come out. They'll know exactly the evidence we have. And yes, Kyle is going to have probably criminal charges pressed against him. They know this. And I have nothing to do with the case any longer. My records are irrelevant. And by the way, I can tell you this, absolute 100% certainty. And I put this out on my Facebook the other day. If something happens to me or whatever, and all my messages got released, everything I've ever written to anybody, these haters would be severely disappointed because it'll back up everything I've ever said to everybody. It's everything I've ever said is backed up, legit. I tell the same thing to everybody because it's the truth. There's no special meetings. There's no ball. There's no giving orders. There's no acting duplicitous. There's no asking anybody to lie for them. We don't do any of that stuff. We've never harassed anybody. We don't make fake accounts to harass people. We're the ones telling people. These are the ones people doing it, and what they do, they project it back on us because they get caught. And then they're like, oh, well, even Chesh, what we do? Where's your evidence?
Question. This is a matter of like, oh, you can't use certain words and you can't say things a certain way, otherwise you go to prison for it. Can you define fascism for me again?
Well, it's kind of funny. There are certain countries where they take even the most nominal things, and you can get jail sentences. Like, for example, in Thailand, there was a guy that did a review for a hotel, an American tourist that was over there. And he did a negative review for a hotel. He's looking at 2 years in prison. Did you not? So you don't know the freedoms we have in America here.
I'm not in America.
I will bet anybody $100 that Roof, myself, and Ben will never be subpoenaed.
Why would any of you get subpoenaed for what? The only way I could see Steve getting subpoenaed is if Kyle was saying, I gave Steve the money. If he was like, no, I gave Steve the money here, but you wouldn't even have to subpoena Steve, because even in that case, Kyle would just be able to show the bank record of it going to Steve, so there would be no reason to subpoena Steve.
I know every time he paid me, but unfortunately I don't know why in my PayPal I can't go back and find some of the stuff. I've asked Bool to help me find this stuff. But yes, Kyle did give me some money, but that's always because I gave Boolinator money for food, for rent, to help him out, and most of the time he did pay me back. He didn't, like one time I asked him not to. I said, don't worry, I gave him a couple $100, whatever. But yeah, those were, if you make $60,000 for a channel and you think a payment to me for $200 is paying me for my services, and yeah, okay, then something's seriously wrong. Clearly that was just paying me back because I actually have payments going out to Bool that I can show, and Bool received them.
Let's not forget that G-Man made more money on Non Sequitur show than Steve ever did.
Yes, but like I said, I want people to recognize these types of behaviors, that people are just throwing these narratives out there. Nobody asked these people for any evidence on anything. I don't understand it. And by the way, I don't want them to, because I don't want them engaging with them, but they should think to themselves, why is it these fake accounts and these troll accounts and people like Nate and Agrippa and Keon and Uni, they never provide any actual records of anything, ever.
Well,
ever.
The answer is that people
record is in public.
People should not be coming to us asking these questions. We are not the people you should be asking when you see claims like that. You should be asking the person who's making the claims. Like Matt Dillahunty says, person making the claim is the one responsible for demonstrating the claim. So go ask the people making the fucking claim, Matt. Fuck's sakes.
It's mind-boggling. Anybody who read those transcripts can see that the judge is not thrilled with Kyle. He wants to send this to the DA.
I'm going to be recording that, by the way. I'm recording that today.
Why is he even said he doesn't care about the merits of the case because it's irrelevant at this point because there's already been a default judgment. What the hell would they need to subpoena me for? The merits of the case have nothing to do with anything. The affidavit that's in question is Kyle saying that he never got the papers after a year of saying that he did, and then lying about it under perjury charges for filing a false statement, possibly fraudulent submissions of records that have been altered. What does that got to do with me? What does it need? Look, I'm an open book. If the judge said, "Hey, Steve, show me all your records," here you go. Have all my emails. Have my bank records.
You wouldn't need to subpoena Steve. He would just give it to you.
Yeah, I'd give it freely. Exactly. But my part of the case is done. I mean, and by the way, yes, the depositions have been moved back. I'm not going to say till when, but I knew this last week. So people putting out, oh, there was no depositions today. They were moved back. No kidding. I knew this last week. And I told people I corrected it because I said that I think they're on the 28th, but don't make it positive. But it changed, and there's reasons why it changed, and there's good reasons why.
I didn't even know that there was a date because I wasn't paying attention. I am amazed. There is like an irony to how closely these people watch, like as they're currently watching, how closely they're looking to watch to find things to nitpick, and they still get it wrong.
Well, and that's their skill, though. They will find things to nitpick. They'll find things to run content for their channel, and that's fine. This gives them content. Knock yourself out. But like I said, on the Great Day community, I probably will be addressing this nonsense. And because we wanted to ignore these people. We completely wanted to ignore them. We tried that. It doesn't seem to be working. And now they've impersonated, me, a Cheshire impersonation account. Now they're involving my daughter, which we'll get into. They've got my attention.
Well, the other thing is George makes a really good point. What's with all the drama? Subpoena is nothing to be worried about. Unless you've been lying to the court.
Yeah.
Even if Steve was subpoenaed, it wouldn't matter.
Right. Like, so what? I got subpoenaed. Here's my stuff. Go away. Subpoena satisfied. That's all there is to a subpoena if you're not lying.
Well, that's the thing. It's even in some bizarro world where UNIRock was actually correct about something and actually looked something up to the court records that are literally, a click away.
Hey, Cheshire.
Do you think that he doesn't know how to get to them? Do you think that he doesn't know how to get to the court records?
Mm-hmm. No, he can't. No, I don't think he knows how to because he had. Remember they put out that fraudulent court record.
Yeah, that's right. They did it fraudulent.
This is all them putting out this fraudulent stuff. They're fine with changing things. By the way, Chess. So you're denying any knowledge of court action being taken against you. This is what they're saying. Yes, she is, because what court action? Where's the evidence for this? I would love to see. I want to see. What the hell, people? I mean, how dumb are you to believe anything that UNIRock says? I swear to God, how dumb are you to believe anything that comes out of these people's mouths? And they've been demonstrated time and time again. Oh, I've talked to the judge. That was a lie.
You can't just randomly call up a...
That was a lie.
You can't just randomly call up a judge on a case and say, I want to talk to you about X case.
Oh, but they were
if you're not a member of the case.
Look,
if it's none of your business.
If somebody is calling things a joke, they're untrustworthy because you never know when they're joking or not, even though it's not a joke. They're being serious.
It's Schrodinger's joke. It's Schrodinger's joke. It's a joke if you don't go along with it. But if you go along with it, it's Schrodinger's joke.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't confirm nor deny what I don't know what you're talking about. I currently have no paperwork. I currently have heard of no paperwork. And if I get paperwork, great, let's go. I have no problem.
By the way,
with
do you know how much defense fund we would raise pretty quickly? And I would definitely give her a shit ton that I can to help support her.
I would represent myself, and I would bring
not a good idea.
one thing to the court, and I'd be like, "Here's the Twitter link. Please read
and
the
by
thread."
the way, the reason why I think, again, we had decided not to deal with these people. We had all kind of as a community decided to do that. But there are times where, of course, we have to address certain things, and I want everyone to watch this video.
Currently.
Yeah,
They're
because
invasive.
look, if you have an echo chamber, which most of these places are, they're completely echo chambers, you're not going to be exposed to the other side, right? And so if somebody tells you something, oh, Steve's being sued, Cheshire is being sued, they're just going to go with it by fiat.
Properly.
Well, you ask them, where's the court records for this? Yeah. All right. So anyway, let's move on to the next screenshot, because this, like I said, this is actually a fake. And again, they're accusing us. If we were doing any of this shit, why are they having to make up fabricated shit? Why are they having to impersonate us, right?
Well, because they can't exist without us.
Well, and they're happy to fake stuff. And they're like, well, Steve faked emails and screenshots. I did? Where? I have never faked an email in my life. I've never faked a screenshot. Never. And yet people buy into that nonsense too.
Quite frankly, I would actually be surprised if Uni ever himself made a fake screenshot, but I would not be surprised if he put out screenshots that he knew were fake.
Oh, not at all. No,
I think he's too lazy to have actually done anything.
Probably. All right, so this account has been reported, of course, but this is like a fake me impersonating me. My head is going to explode. I need people to forward this. My followers are all gone, and so I can't use anyone to retweet this.
Rejoin me.
It's not rejoin. Yeah, pass it on. Will not be forced off. I retained a lawyer, and he assures me that we will get whoever in prison. Again, what?
Can I have some ranch with that word salad, please?
Steve, that's
why. If I ever
why,
write like this, please tell me to just take a break.
No, Steve, that's why it came up as your proper handle. Remember that the display name is the one that comes up on the messages. That's why it can look like your proper handle. It should be your display name that came up, and it wasn't your display name that came up. It was what they're choosing the display name to be, which is your regular handle, but their handle is actually 15. That's why.
And here's the thing. If it doesn't come from my actual, people have DM'd me before. If it's not from my actual account, it's not me. Straight up, it's not me, ever. You'll never get a DM from me from any other account than the single one that I have to use to DM people. That's it. I've never used any other account to DM, I don't think. Even the Caffeine Corner, I don't think I've ever DM'd anybody with it. That is the only account, to my recollection, I've ever DM'd anybody about, except for the Non Sequitur show, which, again, I don't have access to for a very long time. So if you get a DM and it's not from that account, it is not me.
Todd talking about puck signed for the
puck signed for the service of me.
So again,
there's a big fucking paw print on it.
I want to clarify this point, and I want people to recognize it. These are people that are claiming that Chester and I are to do this stuff, which we never have. We've never made any impersonation accounts. Yet they're the ones that are doing it, projecting it. And yet there are still people that follow these people. There are still people that support these people. There's still people that platform these people, and they don't seem to care.
And there are people coming to us asking us to explain what's going on, and it's like this is unreasonable. It's unreasonable to expect us to demonstrate or disprove the claims of others. Please, if you want to know what's going on because this person is saying random bullshit, ask them. People want us to regularly not have to talk about the drama or call this drama or whatever the fuck and complain about it. We're talking about it because you guys fucking ask.
Yeah.
If you don't want us to talk about it, stop asking us and ask them. Or tell you what, just don't engage with them because they're shitheads.
And that's what I'm asking. Yeah, please stop engaging with these people. Again, you guys do what you want. And I've never forced anybody to do anything. I have no control over anybody. I've asked them nicely. If they say, well, I want to because I enjoy it.
Steve forced me to the show today.
I asked Manya, hey, look, these people are just sea-lying you. They're trying to get you to say stuff so they can deactivate your account. She's well aware of that, but did she stop? Mm-hmm. No, that's her prerogative. Do I love her any less? No. But I'm looking out for her. She's a mad lad. But I think now she might have recognized that, yeah, she might want to start, blocking these people. But, okay, so where was I going to go with this? My camera's all messed up.
Next screenshot, because we haven't gotten to the most egregious part yet. I drank all my beer already.
Oh, yes, the next screenshot.
I'm thirsty today.
Is this the other DM? Oh, no. I thought. Wait, wasn't there another DM I sent you first?
I put them in the order you sent them, Steve. I can't control that.
Okay. Wait, but there's not. Who was the other DM? I'm sure I sent it to you. Here, let me see. Mm-hmm. Before I get to this one, there's one other DM.
You sent me 2 uni can't false strike accounts. If that was supposed to be something else.
I don't think this beer has caffeine in it.
No, let me get it real quick. 1 sec, because I don't think I did send it to you. I got it later on. So 1 sec.
Helio says soon UNIRock will post a screenshot of a court case against you where the service is signed in perfect cursive EUK.
All right, show this one next, actually, and then we'll get the other one. There we go.
You know what feels bad? Until this shit calms down, I can't do my OnlyFans. Feels bad.
Well, then your
They're
subscribers.
They're affecting my business and my income, guys.
Support
actually,
the
to be fair, false striking my Twitter account does actually affect my work because I do commission work, and a lot of the commission work that I get is based off of Twitter DMs, and so I no longer have access to those right now. So if anybody has any commissions going through with me right now, either add me on Discord or email me. As much as I hate email me, I hate emailing. I don't have a choice. But there's my Discord, so if you guys are trying to get in contact with me, and people who currently have commissions that I'm currently working on, please email me or Discord me.
I will say this real quick. Those people that are trying to shut down Chester and I only probably will end up helping, because I guarantee it, her supporters will probably end up helping her more in the long run because they don't tolerate this kind of behavior. They don't tolerate this type of cancel culture. And by the way, if you report a impersonation account, that is not cancel culture. That is not false striking. Anybody who thinks that is a moron.
There's nothing false about it. They're actually impersonating Steve.
Exactly. That legit is by definition not a false report. It's an impersonation.
There's a couple fake me's going around too. So if you see me on Twitter for the next little while, it's not me. One, I'm a little bit more creative than that, and two, trust me. I'm a little bit more.
People talking about your OnlyFans, where they're like, oh, we got to make this happen. Well, I'll tell you what. Stop engaging with these trolls, and maybe she'll be able to get her account back and start an OnlyFans page.
I am the real host of the Reclaiming of Non Sequitur show. Here's a roar. I am unleashed. Account Olin, temporary till returned. Who wrote this?
Again, I have my guesses, but I can't verify.
Like, even Puck's not impressed. Puppy, not impressed with this? Is this upsetting you?
Oh, this is not. This is very clearly not a parody account. This is somebody legit impersonating me, DMing people that I know.
Yes.
So you want to read it, Josh?
Oh, sure. They fucking got me. They got all my information, my Google accounts, my emails, my data, gone. Why would... Okay. We are in real trouble if they find that folder icon. If they find that folder.
That folder. What folder?
That folder.
Listen, if you guys think that Steve is that... If you guys think that Steve is that organized, you're sadly mistaken.
I'm not. She's seen my desktop. I'm not organized.
I'm the organized one.
I bet these people do have a folder with incriminating shit. Again, you can have access to my computer, and I swear to God as my witness, absolutely people would be disappointed.
You think they've got the folder titled "incriminating shit"?
I have one document on. I literally, and Chester's saying, I have one document on my desktop, and it is entitled to my daughter. That if anything ever happens to me, it has all my contact information, everything that she needs to know about everything, and that's it. And she knows about it. Her mom knows about it. I have no. Everything in my folders are freaking unorganized as shit. This is why when I say I'm gonna get you a picture, it takes me forever. I need to get more organized.
Yo, there was one time he said he was gonna send me a picture, and it took him 25 minutes to find the damn thing, and he had to do like a search through like the search bar.
I got a lot of stuff. I do collect stuff, but it's just like I've got multiple.
I don't even remember what the picture was. It was like, I don't remember what it was. It was just more the experience of watching you be like, where the fuck is it?
Right?
Okay. I contacted Twitter. I got a phone call from Manya. I've been trying to get a hold of you all night. I cannot... How have they been trying to get a hold of them all night if this is the first message?
Do you know who this is to? Because I can tell. I asked if I could use it and stuff like that. Do you know who this was to? Can you guess?
I could guess, but I'm not sure.
You'd be wrong. This is weird. This is to Ted Kennedy and
Is it Kennedy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching side chats. That's how I know.
Okay. Look. I have never tried to get a hold of Dead Kennedy.
Why would you?
I don't talk to Dead Kennedy that much.
What would Dead Kennedy in space have to do with any of this shit? Like nothing.
I don't remember the last time him and I even had a DM conversation. It's been that long. So I don't know why I'd be trying to get a hold of him for any of this. It's just weird to me. It's just very weird.
Legit makes no sense.
If they sent this to Dead Kennedy in space, I can't imagine them not sending it to other people. So if anybody other people have messages from this person, please send them to me, because I would like to know what the hell, why they picked Dead Kennedy in space of all people. Again, nothing against Dead Kennedy in space. I like the guy. I supported him for a very long time.
But he's in a position to do probably the least to help Steve McRae.
I don't know what he would do. I don't know what...
Kennedy, I've been trying to get a hold of you all night. Help me with this random Twitter shit because somebody hacked my account.
Yeah, and the first one was from Miria Vegeta.
But the folder is gone. Kennedy, which folder were they talking about? Do you know?
By the way, how do you... I always pronounce Vegeta's name wrong, so can you pronounce it?
Whose? Oh, Vegeta?
Mirai Vegeta.
Mirai
Vegeta. Yeah, she's the one that first sent me the first one, so yes. So these are legit DMs.
I got... Wait, they sent it to Vegeta?
The first one
Why?
was to Vegeta, yeah. I don't know. Again, I'm a big fan of hers, but we barely communicate that much. I mean,
I don't.
It's weird. I don't know why.
I like her. I like her, but like Dead Kennedy in space, the person in a position to do about the least of the entire world to help you.
They would recognize this. This is part I was weird too. We all said it wrong.
RNGD Gaming is asking if it's the donkey porn folder that you got from Reds.
Probably.
That's on a thumb drive. But okay, Vegeta. Next time we have a Roman Coconut, you got to come on and tell us all. Mirai.
It's like the first half of Mirai Vegeta.
There you go. All right,
okay, I cannot ask anything. I cannot access anything without my passwords, which I am in the process of getting right now. I left my master list in the safe. I have to wait for him to open up so I can get back into my other accounts.
Who's him?
I cannot believe you were not answering my calls. I hope the Patreon is secure. I cannot afford that coming out. What?
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 I don't know what that means either. My Patreon is like, yeah, I mean, anybody on my Patreon could put out anything.
This makes me think that who's ever written this, English is not their first language.
Or their second.
I cannot access anything without my password. They fucking got me. They got all my information. Google accounts, email, all my data gone. I am in the process of getting now getting the folders and getting the passwords from the safe. If somebody's hacked your account, like legitimately hacked and taken and changed your passwords, whatever old passwords you had in any safe anywhere are useless. I don't know what this person's talking about. This person doesn't know how the internet works.
All right, continue on, please.
That was the end. Oh, are you going to next?
Next slide?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
This is just incompetent.
All right. So then it gets 10,000 times worse. Because again, people know going after me used to. People know going after my friends. Yeah, it's crappy and sometimes I'll address it, but it is what it is. They know what they're getting themselves into, and a lot of them have pointed out that these people have gone after them simply for supporting me. Like Chris Atlee,
do you think that UNIRock thinks that the Punicock account is an impersonation account?
It is not an impersonation account. But
of course it's not.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't think these people have enough brain capacity to understand things like sarcasm, understand things like actual parody. I don't think they know how to understand simple concepts. I think maybe they legit do not understand. This is why they get so much stuff wrong. Because I can't imagine people being this completely duplicitous. I have even a hard time understanding this. I have to blame a little bit on the fact that they're just mentally incompetent.
I think there's two things. I think, one, there are people that are part of that group that do not understand social interaction. They don't understand it. This is one of the reasons why, for example, Uni might have thought he was closer friends with Reds than he was. Now, he lied about it and exaggerated it, but he might have thought they were closer than they actually were. There's also something to be said for he doesn't expect that we actually talk to each other in the background, and it's not a super secret meeting. We just kind of hang out because he doesn't have friends. He doesn't know what this is like. The only reason they all hang out together at any point is to fucking scheme or some shit, whatever the fuck they're doing. But they don't hang out as friends. They don't fucking like each other. They've said this. This is not new information.
And they'll throw each other in the bus in a heartbeat.
But there's also there is, I think, enough at this point that you could make a decent case to say that these people are taking advantage of people who do suffer from mental instabilities that are incapable of understanding. We've seen that from a couple of that group saying, and if we're going to take them at their word, that they do suffer or are on a spectrum. And so they're not understanding sarcasm, and so these people are taking advantage of that, who do understand, who are lying and taking advantage of the fact that these people don't know or will not be able to understand that the context, especially when they take the context out on top of it. So I think they're taking. Personally, I'm convinced that they're taking advantage of people with mental disabilities.
I 1,000% agree. I am convinced of that, absolutely. All right, so this particular account, and no, I do not think this is Uni, so let me get that very clear. This is not Uni, but Uni fosters this because he always calls me, I guess, Silverfish and Boomer, so he fosters this kind of atmosphere. And this is to UNIRock TV. So I have good reason to believe that because of his constant misinformation being put out there, he supports this kind of atmosphere. And so, yes, that is true. Do I think this is him? No. But of course, people will change that. So, you guys want to read this? Because I'd rather not.
It happened in real time. Oh yeah, you want me to read it? Do I have to? Okay.
You don't have to.
Not even Steve's daughter was safe when she dared to share her horror story about her father, and father is in quotes for some reason.
She is my biological daughter. I was there.
I don't know why father is in
I remember in
quotes.
detail. Yeah. And then what they did was they took a picture of me and my daughter when I took her out for yoga, because I promised people that I would take my daughter out for ice cream, and the closest place there is yogurt, so it had a substitute. And
yeah,
then they
you
took
were
that photo and-
apologizing to people that it wasn't ice cream and being like, I'm sorry, I couldn't get
Right.
ice cream, it had to be frozen yogurt.
Yeah,
Steven's
mea
scamming
culpa.
people.
Right. And they did. No, there was some people I think upset by that. But so they blurred out my face. They didn't blur out or block my daughter's. I had to actually put that black mark. And let me make this very clear. Had my daughter been a victim, whether from me or anybody else that she know, uncle or friend or whatever, had she been an actual victim, this person would have re-victimized her. They put a picture of my 15-year-old daughter claiming that she had been raped. They don't know her history. They don't know her upbringing. They don't know she might have been molested or not. God forbid. The truth is she was never, and she had a very good upbringing. But they don't know this. They have no idea, right? And they're throwing this out there, throwing a picture of a 15-year-old girl that has absolutely nothing to do with any of this, and then saying that she was raped, not just by a stranger, but by her own father, with no
and she's also underage, which is also implying that you're a pedophile.
Which is, again, yes, she's 15. And so, I mean, this is so morally bankrupt to the point of, yes, you got my attention now. You wanted my attention, you got it. You definitely got it. But I want everybody to see this. I want this all to be public, because I know my daughter's upbringing. She had a very good upbringing. But I also know that people have had bad upbringings. People have been victimized. People have been molested. People have been raped. And had she been, this would have victimized her again. You sick, disgusting piece of shit. And this is the type of narrative that group fosters. And yet that side says nothing. That side supports these kinds of people. Now explain this to me, because I'm really at a loss. I really am. I really at a loss how people support the UNIRock, and they support Nate, and they support that group that fosters these kinds of narratives. Now I'm not saying Nate had anything to do with this. I'm not implying that. But he does lie. He does make things up. That is a truth. They all support these kinds of blatant character assassinations.
There's somebody here that said that I would love to see evidence of this accusation, and then somebody responded with, "Are you kidding me? The world would implode and the heavens would be at war once again. If he showed the evidence or spoke the truth?"
He's talking about
and I don't. I think that one's. Yeah.
I looked at the account they're in. Yeah.
There's an interesting account in here that says, to be fair to Uni, there might be reasons why he can't, saying that you should really monitor your Twitter well enough at least delete and ban this sort of disgusting meme. And it says, to be fair, there might be a reason why he can't. I had comments from Chesh on my tweet, but couldn't delete them since she had me blocked. That's not how Twitter works. I have no control over you slanderous bitch. That's not, Twitter doesn't work like that. You slanderous bitch.
And speaking of slanderous bitches, one of them, accused me of deleting other people's tweets. It's like, it doesn't work that way.
Yes, I have zero control about any tweets that someone else has made. If I block you, that says nothing about whether or not you have control over your own tweets, because you do. You have 100% control over your own tweets. Just because you don't blame me because you don't understand how the fucking platform works. Jesus Christ.
And the people the whole rape apologist stuff, they're the ones supporting this kind of stuff. They're daring to try to go after my character and call me a rape apologist, which, by the way, Cheshire and Red's completely obliterated and call him an obloquy if you go check out the video on Red's channel. But they're the ones that support the Catholic Church that has been, how much pedophilia came out of that. One of the reasons why I had the rape apologist charge levied against me is I spoke out against pedophilia and the Catholic Church. And one of the Catholic members made a video trying to put it on me, saying that I was a rape apologist, was completely nonsensical.
Oh,
I'm the
you'll
one that
never
rape
guess. who's supporting this account, because you can actually look at their other tweets and see who's supporting and encouraging this kind of behavior. I am seeing the amateur conversationalist, and they're tweeting underneath. We're seeing them underneath Nate Brody.
Surprise, surprise.
I can also see them under Kyle.
Surprise, surprise. You know, and by the way, do you guys not remember, and I have the audio recording, so I back this up, of Kyle making dirty jokes about my daughter, saying that she maybe she liked, what do you say, maybe she liked daddies or something?
And look who's there. Horse bitch is there. Fiona Robertson, the
person who accused me of rape apologetics, is supporting this.
Oh, look, Agrippa! Hey, it's
Agrippa.
that one account from, that's that one account that has Cindy Lou Who and that hi guy. Oh, weird.
All the people that we have blocked, all the people that we have called out for lying, all the people we have called out for being shitty people. Oh, what a shocker.
Oh, hey, that per account, PERENNION, Perion or whatever.
Pernion.
Oh, look, UNIRock. Yeah. Oh, look, Robert Batty! Oh, no!
Oh, shocker!
Oh, wow. Look at all of them saying nothing about this shit.
How much stuff has Beatty got wrong? I mean, I even tagged Peter Riley, the guy that wrote for Forbes. I'm like, you support this guy? And Peter says, well, he has a good pension. I don't think he needs my support. I'm like, that's like, you're a writer and you don't understand simple context. Like when I say support, I don't mean financially. And you're a writer for Forbes? Explain this to me. This is what I'm saying. I think a lot of these people don't understand simple social communications. When I say that you support them, who thinks that I mean financially? Clearly that's not what I meant. But they
look, it's Glow. Look, it's Exiled. Oh, look, it's that racist Larry in Vegas account. Oh, no. It's almost like they got called out and then they fucking lashed out.
These are the people that I left, Bool left, Rez left. And by the way, you want to give Rez a call? Because I know he's probably taking a nap, but I want him to come in. Can somebody give him a holler?
Yeah,
all right. So these are the people that we pointed out 4 years ago. We're doing this kind of shit, not just to me, but to other people. We pointed out this is what kind of trolling they did, and they've been coming after us ever since, and they haven't stopped. They're the ones that support this kind of stuff. I mean, for Pete's sake, what else do we need to show people?
Well, that was like real time. That was just me in real time going to that account, which has not been taken down, by the way, and looking through where they're showing up in what threads and who's liking and commenting and chatting with them. That's what that was. That what you just saw was me looking through it in real time. You can all do this. This is not something that you. The only way that that they stop you from doing something like that is by privating their account.
So somebody just sent me this that your account being disabled wasn't due to mass reporting but harassment. Chester's never harassed anybody. If you don't understand sarcasm, that's your issue because what she wrote was clearly sarcasm. And again, I think these people have mental blockage. They don't understand these types of concepts like sarcasm. All right, so continuing on here. Anyways, I had talked.
There's I can actually address that real quick before we move on. So, I was, if I had said that out loud, it would have been in a silly voice. Oh my God, these people. That's the example. I don't think I would personally call it sarcasm, but yeah, it was facetious is the word I would use. It was not to be taken as a literal this is happening. There's also a difference between, as I have said, on more than one account, one tweet saying that you did or did not do something is not harassment. Harassment is an indicative, continuous behavior. I don't talk to this person. I wasn't even directly talking to that person. Any of those people.
Chester, let me ask you, would you say that a group of people that we have pointed out for now almost, I guess, going on 4 years. I think I can't believe it's been 4 years. It seems like 3, but regardless, 3 or 4 years that have been constantly making up shit to character assassinate all of us. Would you call that harassment?
Yeah, because that's not one tweet.
And they're making stuff up. They actually make stuff up. Cheshire and I have never made up anything. We've never tried to put out anything that we couldn't back up with absolute facts. And if we do have something out there that we have not backed up, we let people know, I cannot support this right now. Which is rare in between, but it can happen.
This person who's claiming that they're going to sue me is a situation where mockery or satire would also be a good example. Yes, it would be good words to describe what I was doing. It was making a point.
You're making a point.
And the thing is that if they can mass report my account based on that, it means that it could easily go the other way. If you guys all decided at once to look at the accounts that did this, because this conversation is still there, go find the original tweets and go to those accounts and just start flagging the fuck out of them for harassment, because that's actually against terms of service. Targeted harassment is. So anyone making fake accounts or parody accounts of Steve with the purpose of doing his reputation or him harm, anything that is any kind of sexual relation towards me, anything that is making false accusations, anything that by not only their account, by what they're saying, let alone anything that actually falls under harassment, everybody in this channel right now could decide to go and mass flag that channel or that Twitter account. Anybody could decide to do that. Now, am I going to tell you guys to do that? No. What I'm going to say is avenge the queen. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Here's the thing. Parody accounts are fine.
What I am going to inform you of is what is against terms of service and what isn't, and I've always done that. These things are against terms of service, this thing is not. By their logic, this thing is also against terms of service, so hey, by all means, it's a
impersonation. Parody accounts are fine, but impersonation accounts are not. And inflammatory stuff where you're accusing people of crimes that have absolutely no truth to them whatsoever, that's not something that TOS allows. I will bring this up. People keep on saying, how do you know Nate's a real lawyer? I will tell you, I will stake my reputation on this. Nate is a real lawyer. I know who he is. I have his bar number. He is a real lawyer. I know where he graduated from. I know what school he went to. I've known all this. It doesn't matter. And no, people have asked me for the information. I've not given it to them. Okay?
Steve hasn't given me that information, and I'm the one running around saying I don't believe he's a real lawyer.
Yeah, I haven't given it. I have never even given it to Chesh. Okay, so but I could tell you, stop trying to argue that he's not a real lawyer. You can argue he's a bad one. Yes, I'm fine with that.
I'm more along the lines of he's just a bad person. I think he's probably a really decent lawyer in real life. I mean, he's talking about rewriting. He's talking about, auditing laws to see what needs to be repealed in New York. Yeah, that kind of talk is. You don't do that kind of shit if you're a bad lawyer. But he doesn't on YouTube. He doesn't care about being a lawyer. That's the point.
Right.
He's giving bad advice to people or giving false information to people for the views and to keep his friends. Literally, that's it.
He's a bad lawyer on YouTube and on Twitter. What he is, her personal life, whatever. But yes, he was actually a cop as well at one time.
You mean he's just a shitty person online? So are we talking about Oscar Wilde here? Give a person a mask and let them demonstrate to you how they really are?
And that's it. Pay attention to what he says on Twitter. This is what Hogtie didn't realize. Hogtie was like, well, he's not, I've known him for a while. It didn't seem like a bad guy. I sent him what he was saying, and even Hogtie said was, holy shit. Nate, what are you doing?
Well, Hogtie also said that, well, I've been watching his coverage of Non Sequitur Show, and it's been pretty fair and good towards Steve. When literally the day before, Nate accused us of all of harassing Kyle's lawyer, so I'm call bullshit. So either you're listening and you're being very, very selective and ignoring the shit he's also weaving into this, or you're too stupid to recognize it, or you're a fucking liar.
And he's
Take
not,
your
he's
pick.
not a dumb guy. But here's the thing. I actually sent him...
Well, I mean, he
Nate's
went
own word.
straight back to fucking... He got his ass kicked and went straight back to his fucking echo chamber to talk about... and to lie about the situation.
I've sent Hogtie the actual tweet from Nate accusing Sweet Heathen of stalking him. Sweet Heathen of stalking Nate. Let's think about this. On what world would this happen? I don't think she's ever tweeted to him more than, a handful of times at most, if any. I mean, she has nothing to do with the guy. She can't stand the guy. She wants nothing to do with him. Yet Nate accuses her of stalking him, and nobody says shit? Really? I sent that Hogtie. You know what I got back? Bump kiss. He hasn't responded to me since then.
He's not going to. Because he's a fucking coward and a liar.
I'm really disappointed in Hogtie because, again, I've known Hogtie a very long time. I do have respect for Hogtie. But when Hogtie tries to stand up
he's
to
the same as
Nate,
Nick.
people give Nate a platform. I see
it's the same as Nick.
I see a lot of correlations. But when they give these people a platform and they don't address things like this, explain this to me. I really like to know from the people giving them a platform, how do you feel about this kind of stuff? How do you feel about this person saying Sweet Heathen was stalking them?
This is the same problem we saw with Matt. Oh, I thought I was going to the source, and we're telling you you're not. So you blocked everybody instead of going to the source and rectifying and fixing your fucking mistake and your issue. Oh, just block it and ignore it, and it'll go away. It'll go away. Let's ignore all of the shit I just stomped the fuck all over in wandering through here. Shitheads.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. We're the one. You know why people want to cancel us? Because we're the ones putting out all the facts. We're the one putting out information that we can actually back up. This is why I actually have a following. This is why the people that have been coming after us, they get shit on every single time because they've never produced a single document, never produced a single evidence. I've been accused of rape apologetics. I've been accused of molesting my daughter. I've been accused of fraud, medical fraud. All this shit was bullshit. Everybody knows it's bullshit. Harassment, sexual harassment, rape, you name it. They will throw it out. Wait, it even gets better. But bigotry, racism, misogyny.
Oh, I guess all those accounts that we've seen are all going to prison now.
And yet all these people do exactly what we have been accused of and done. We have never done any of these things. Nothing. That's why nobody has ever produced any evidence. For all these years, all they do is take what we say and try to run with it and hatchet chop it. Nate actually is known as Captain Clip now. I love that name, Captain Clip, because he takes clips and he puts them out of context. Like, for example, the whole atheist of rocks. People know me for 5 years. That's stupid. Even Puck is pissed off. He knows
he's
bullshit.
not happy.
Right?
What are you looking at, bud? He's so big.
It's just ridiculous that there are people that are this, that they don't bother to look into this other crap. They don't bother to actually question what they're being told. I want my audience to question us. You come to me, you'll get an answer. This is why I have an actual following. It's just amazing that
It's funny how that works, isn't it?
You're
muted, Chush.
You're muted.
We cannot hear you.
You're still muted.
Nope.
Did she get frozen? Oh.
I was muted. I would prefer if people decide to tell us whether, to come to us when it's something that we've said, not something that other people have said about us. Go ask those people.
Thank you. Yeah, Sweet Heathen says exactly right. She says, that's exactly what he did to me. Showed messages he sent me after he blocked me, and I never saw the attack video. Yeah, this is what he does. I mean, when Nate made videos about me, I have a screenshot of me actually, and he put it on his video, pinned it for a while, but then he took it down. Me telling him what a hatchet job. This was, 2 years ago that he was doing hatchet jobs. And you have people like, oh, look, Steve said this. Yeah, if you take me out of context, and this is not one of those, out of context, just to escape stuff. This is legit. You go watch the original video, and I've never said rocks were agnostic in any kind of actual way. I was trying to explain to him some logic that he was getting wrong by doing an internal critique. Anybody who knows me, I've been advocating the whole notion of rocks being atheist or agnostic.
In fact, you were using it. You were using it specifically to tell him how what he was saying was a ridiculous notion because it would make rocks atheists. That's what you were doing.
It doesn't take a lot of abilities to figure that out, but it seems like it does for certain people because they're like, oh, well, Steve Rock's a stick. I mean, well, because Captain Clip does this kind of stuff. This is what he's been known for. Dottie for $10 on this one. Keep fighting the good fight, Stephen Chess. Thank you, Dottie. And look, we're going to try not to go anywhere. And people want to cancel culture us. What are you going to do? But again, my recommendation is just don't engage with these people. All you do is foster their BS. But again, they got my attention now, and I think I'm going to do Twitter Tuesdays on my other channel, the Great Debate Community channel, every so often. Twitter Tuesdays, yeah. I like alliteration. I'm a big fan. If you notice, a lot of my stuff has alliteration. I'm a big fan of it.
Caffeine Corner, Twitter Tuesdays, Rum
Steve
and
Sunday
Coke.
School. Well, my Coke's not alliteration.
No, it's not, but it sounds good because
yeah.
it's a drink.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty simple in my nomenclature. Philosophic Fox.
Red
Fox,
said, fine, give me 5 minutes.
Awesome. Philosophy Fox, £2.
I think he's grumpy. Yeah, sorry,
Might have something to do with the fact y'all woke him up.
Well, he asked me to. He said, I'm taking a nap. Wake me up.
Has him asking you to wake him up ever made him not grumpy when you woke him up?
Oh, he's still grumpy. Oh, dude, let me tell you, I've known Reg a long time, and you know him pretty well, and Jessica's got to know him pretty well. We all agree that a couple things about Reds. He is grumpy, and he's picky eater. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways to wake somebody up that may be more pleasurable than others. Steve, maybe
I'm not doing that to him. No, hey, I love the guy, and I've offered in the dark if eyes don't meet, but that's neither here nor there. So
unbroken eye contact.
Unbroken eye contact. All right, so
that's a good way to get yourself killed, Steve. You got to be careful with unbroken eye contact with Reds.
Right? I mean, I never want to look him in the eyes. It's frightful.
Oh, and there is a new policy over on my channel. Every time somebody super chats, Puck gets a boop on his snoot. Like this. Boop.
And by the way, there's another thing I want to get out before I wanted to get into this next thing. Who have I ever sued for my family? I'm curious about how this came about.
I was dying when I read that. I'm like, no, he hasn't.
I mean, yes,
if he had,
I
would have
custody
mattered.
of my daughter. That is true, and I have primary custody. But I mean, that's not. We were never married. Yeah, we were never married. And by the way, it was all uncontested eventually. And I moved down here to be next to her, and her mom and I get along fantastic. We go see my mom all the time together. We even go shopping together.
I don't consider divorce suing someone anyway.
It was a divorce. We were never married.
Well, yeah, or custody. That's not the same as suing them because of tortious reasons or something like that, right?
And by the way, stop accusing people of buying subs. Wait, quick. Yeah. Look, he had a video come out the other day, like 200,000 views. So it makes sense that he probably got subs out of it, and which is perfectly fine. Stop accusing people of buying subs. Look, I've never bought subs in my life. That was another false accusation that Kyle and Union ran, right? And everybody goes, oh, these people are buying this, buying that. Look, unless you can show me how to actually buy subs, I don't think it's even possible at this point. People have told me it is. I've asked them, how the hell would you go buy subs? Even they don't. They're like, you do this, and this. Okay, show me. Nobody's been able to show me. So I've never demonstrated that's even possible to buy subs on YouTube. And unless you have evidence that they bought subs that you can show, stop making false accusations. We're not going to be hypocrites. We point out false accusations against us. Don't make it about other people. I can't stand that.
But anyways, said, can you please point out to Steve that us big players ignore these fucks is what leads to this reaction from them. They aren't well or healthy people. Right, this all started happening when we noticed them starting to escalate and lash out when the hearing was happening. Just before the hearing started. Now they've escalated further and further as things are now going. It's throwing a tantrum. And it's going to continue to escalate. One of the reasons we're talking about this is that
and because we went dark. As soon as I deactivated my account, they thought I was gone. As soon as I was gone, look how much they started to escalate.
Right, and it will, when they think that they're trying to, like, quote unquote kick people while they're down. Well, Chesh isn't here to defend herself, so we can say and do whatever we want. Oh, well, Steve's not here to defend himself, so he can say and do whatever we want. This is a matter of they think they're seeing an opportunity to shove their narrative down everyone's throats. And one of the main reasons we're talking about it is that we know you people aren't going to buy it. Like, we know that. One, they don't know that, and two, in defending us in some ways, you could make it worse. And so by informing you guys about kind of what's going on with us and what's happened and the escalation we've seen, we also don't want this kind of shit to happen to you. That's not something we're into. That's not something anybody wants. So in that situation, we don't want you guys being attacked. We don't want you guys getting your families dragged into this. We don't want want any of that shit to happen to you.
Yeah, by the way, real quick, on a quick side note, a lot of people are telling me that their chats are not working. I've checked; they're not blocked. I don't know. This is
the problem that YouTube's been having recently. Your best bet is to try and log out of your account, give it a couple minutes, and log back in. You can continue watching.
Wait. Hang on, the person who just messaged me said that disregard last email. I guess they figured it out. But I have had people that have. Who was it? I can't remember their name. Had messaged me, and I looked, and I looked multiple times. They're not in my block list. So I don't. Just
Missy Ann was having that problem the other day when we did Caffeine Corner a couple weeks ago. She couldn't. Everything she said was basically not in the chat. She was getting upset. She was getting upset with y'all. I'm like,
yeah,
this is not Steve doing this.
Yeah, I'm happy to check, and I try to check in real time, even if you're in the middle of a stream. I don't like people that have been accidentally removed, whether from a rogue mod, which I think I've all taken care of. But what usually happens is just friendly fire, and we just don't notice sometimes. Anyways, let's continue on. So last night about midnight, I got a message from my daughter's mom. Cheshire knows my daughter's mom. She has talked to her before. I have shown the screenshots of this conversation. Oh, hang on.
Are we gonna
I also
cover
something? There's also something that I forgot to mention that Manya was kind enough to remind me of. These people will make themselves known that they're false striking. Like they will make themselves known by essentially the same way you guys started posting to me to say that the doxing account got reported and was taken down. They will do the same thing in regards to saying that they reported me and got me taken down. So you will know which accounts have been who've been doing this and what's been going on.
So which one am I pulling up at this point?
Her mom has messaged. One sec though, her mom just messaged me on something. All right, so like I said, I was talking to her mom about midnight last night, about 2 a.m., and I told her, I said, look, because she was highly upset, not at me, but at what's going on, and I said, if it makes you feel better, if you want to issue a statement, I'll read it on air, because she knows exactly what's going on. And she just, by the way, she just messaged me about some things on Twitter, and guess who the tweet was from, Cheshire?
Who?
Agrippa. Yeah, she the person who.
You mean the guy who's breaking terms of service by even having an account? That guy?
Yeah, the one has been kicked off Twitter how many times? The one that gave fraudulent financials and padded accounts payable?
Between 6 to 9.
Yeah. But anyway, so I have
who's that just popped in here?
Hey,
hello?
Reds. Are you awake?
Barely.
All right. Well, let me read. Let me get this out there. So let me kind of comment. So I've actually shown the screenshots to Cheshire and to Reds and some other people. This is actually my real mom, baby's mom. This is from her. If you don't want to believe that, I don't give a shit. This is a real mother with 3 kids who just had a baby not more than a couple months ago. So my daughter has a baby brother. This is somebody who doesn't need to be dealing with this stuff. I actually get along with her exceptionally well. I've known her 15 years, right? But I think she has the right to know what's going on, and my daughter has a right to know what's going on. So it's not that they're just trolling me. Now they've actually affected a 15-year-old kid and her mother.
And minor.
A minor, a minor, and her mother. And yet that side says nothing. They foster this kind of stuff. So this is from my daughter's mom. I swear to you, as God is my witness, this is directly from her. Well, you saw the screenshots from her that I was communicating with her last night.
Yes.
Cheshire, will you please read this?
To those who posted and are following the post of Steve's daughter saying she was raped by him in front of his friends. I am the mother of Steve's daughter, shown in the recent Twitter post where she in quotes, is claiming to have been raped. This post is fake, and I am extremely disgusted by this. I cannot describe how angry I am. This is a teenage girl you have subjected to your feud. If being a teenager in the middle of this pandemic wasn't enough stress, you have now labeled her a victim of a heinous act, rather than showing the real pedophiles out there and try to get justice for the real victims. You choose to create them. She is a strong girl, but if something like this was to get around, she will always be known as a girl raped by her father. She will have to explain again and again why it is online, over and over, to her peers, families, teachers, police, etc. Those close to her will know the truth, but many will never seek the truth and will continue to believe what they see online. There is already too much false information being spread around for your entertainment, to hurt someone, or your 15 minutes of fame, with no thought of the outcome to the innocent ones who are involved. We are adults and should act like it. We should seek truth and spread wisdom, not drama and rumors. The damage you have done can never be undone, but you can avoid causing any more. So I will ask nicely, for the sake of our innocent child, please take the post down and refrain from including children in your posts.
Now I do disagree with her on this, is the fact that she's asking a troll to do something that is decent. We know that never happened. Right? I mean,
yeah, fair.
This person. If this is what my ex is a sweetheart. Trust me. That's why I was with her 5 years. It just, things didn't work out, but we're very, very amicable, to say the least. But she doesn't. I don't think she recognizes how dangerous these people really are, and that she thinks that a troll that will do something like this is willing to take something down. Of course not. So, but I told her I'd read it as is. But this is a plea also to mothers out there.
Twitter has forced them to take it down.
I have no idea. But this is a plea to mothers and the people out there. This is what we're up against. This is why I had to make this public, because if this ever got out, there would be accusations out there. Nip it in the bud now rather than deal with it later, right?
Yeah, this is something that couldn't go unspoken about, and we kind of needed to talk about the stuff ahead of time to sort of give you the context so you had a better idea of where this was coming from.
Yeah, and by the way, authorities aren't getting involved with this. These are just fraudulent accusations to character assassinate. This is not something you involve the police on. This is a threat.
There isn't anything that the police can do about this sort of thing. This isn't.
They'll tell you to block the accounts and report them. Yeah, that's all they're going to tell you to do. But the court of public opinion is how we've always done this, because what happened, Reds, when Kyle wanted the court of public opinion?
Mm-hmm.
How'd that work out for him? You know?
You feeling better now, Reds? You feeling better? You feeling? Is that enough to wet your whistle to wake you up?
No, fuck all you guys.
So I'll get Reds to comment on this, but yeah, Kyle wanted the court of public opinion. That didn't work out for him, because now he's looking at actual prison time. I mean, again, I've changed my position. I think there's a substantial chance of he will probably take a plea deal, but I think there's going to be jail or prison involved at some point. I don't know how he can get out of that. I just don't. But that's something we've been saying for a very long time, is that he has what we thought broke the law, but we had provided evidence to the court to back it up, and there's more evidence coming out as well. This right here, the police aren't going to get involved. This has nothing to do with anything. I implore everybody that watches this channel to recognize this type of behavior. This is what this channel is about. This is what this show is basically about. People recognizing people doing this kind of stuff, harassment, bullying, non-critical thinking. And I just don't want people engaging with these people any longer, because this is what happens. This is what they have. degraded themselves into. So I plead with my subscribers and my followers. I'm not asking you to block anybody. I'm just asking you not to engage with these types of trolls, because it doesn't do anybody any good. Recognize the behavior and then do what you think is the honorable thing. But I don't even know where to go with this. I just don't. Because again, they wanted my attention. They've got it. Now they've made my daughter into a victim, forever into a victim, right? And like I said, God forbid, had she been molested, had she been an actual victim, they would have re-victimized her, and they don't give a shit about that. They're willing to take an underage kid and make a victim out of her, and they don't care. That whole group supports this kind of stuff. This is the trollish behavior, why we had nothing to do with these people. This is why I block them personally, and I don't engage with them. Now, will I address it? Yes, some things that need to be addressed. But you don't see me ever engaging with these people on Twitter. I have them all blocked.
Anybody could actually go through and do exactly what I did when I was saying stuff earlier. You're clearly not understanding. The authorities cannot get involved in this. That's not how the authorities work. You do not understand the platform at best. The only thing that can happen is a threat directly, and none of this was a threat. That's not how threats work. So,
by the way,
anybody can go to one of these accounts.
I'm not even dealing with this kind of nonsense. You're gone. I have no compunctions right now. This is a bad time to pull this kind of bullshit. Like, seriously.
So,
and again, I'll make it very clear. I'm not even that upset for myself, again, because I'm used to this kind of behavior. I explained to my baby's mom that this is difficult for me, and she just couldn't believe it. She's known about this stuff, and she's like, sorry you have to deal with all this crap. But I'm more sorry for the fact that my daughter, has now become a victim. I'm sorry that people like Cheshire, Reds, Bool, Mania, Sweet Heathen, and any of the people that supported me, Chris Atlee, they get DM'd this kind of stuff. They get told, if you associate with Steve, we're going to just cancel you. We're going to make sure you never make it on YouTube. They're told these kinds of things.
They go beyond that. One of the ones that very first ones that showed up to me that tweeted at these people. They tweeted at Nate, at Drag, at Fiona, at Exiled, at Agrippa, added all of them to say, okay, it's time to go after Chesh, because I had responded to them. They essentially sent me DMs, and I asked them politely to leave me alone. And then I tweeted out, because they were like, oh, well, this community doesn't like if you show DMs. They're not going to be happy about that. And I'm like, oh, bitch, please. So what I did is, even though I could have showed the DMs, I didn't. Because my DMs have always been public. What I could have done was what I did. I could have done that. What I did do was say, hey, how many times do I have to ask somebody to leave me alone before what they're doing is harassment? And I added that person on the second tweet of 2 tweets. And then they came out themselves and made themselves look like an asshole. And when I had support, they went and tweeted at all these people to come and harass me, and they weren't going to just say that I couldn't have a career or whatever you want to call it and have a YouTube channel and exist on Twitter. They were saying that I wouldn't be able to have a job in real life because they were going to come after me.
And again, they've done this for years with people.
This isn't the only threat I've got about my real life.
Yeah, I mean...
the whole G-Man getting called at work. I'll admit my part in that was to create the Gary Ridgway meme. But that was something that I did with Look a Pig back in the day. But eventually, somebody, and it was Look a Pig, called him at work.
And everybody denounced it.
Everybody was like, no, that's not cool.
Not everybody.
Well, okay, you're right. That other side supported that kind of behavior.
Right. They were the ones that encouraged it. And they said, they called G-Man at work, and he locked a bunch of people, children, I might add, into his work with him to deal with a prank phone call that should not have ever been a thing in real life.
And here's the thing. I stood up for G-Man for that. And yet they came out, again, this is one of the reasons why we wanted nothing to do with that group. They do these kinds of things. They support these kinds of things. And when we stand up and say, no, this is wrong. Look, when Rocket Ronnie, True Empiricism, when they used to criticize where he lived, what he looked like, I had issues with this. And they did the same thing to me. And do I want to stand up for these people? No. But there's certain things that are crossing the line that we felt unacceptable. If you want to go after Rocket Ronnie because he doesn't understand the difference between, DNA dissolving and degrading in water, go for it. I do that. But these people made things personal. They were calling people's works. They were, making things that are intrinsic to people. They were making into issues. They were talking about people's living conditions. None of this matters. Where you work, what you do, makes no difference to your argument. But that's how they have.
Well, that's the thing. When was the last time any of these fucking people addressed an argument? They haven't. They haven't in years.
For years.
I'm new, and they haven't addressed a single one of my arguments. That's why Colleen Obloquy stands to this day.
But you weren't around at the time. But Bool remembers and Reg remembers because he hates this topic. How many videos were made about the whole DNA dissolving or degrading in water? How many videos were made on this? Because that was about the topic, right? Couldn't even count.
Oh my god, I couldn't even fathom. I couldn't tell you.
But then
they
started moving away from that kind of stuff. Yeah, it was dozens to say the least. But then they started moving away from that, and they started making into personal attacks with people. I noticed this. Bool noticed this. Red's noticed this. Reg used to be friends with these people too.
You guys have bad taste.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Have I said anything that's incorrect, Reds? Anything?
I do want to clarify something. I want to make sure that people get the whole story and not just part of it. When it came to the G-Man calling fucking his work bullshit and stuff like that, I was actually a part of that. I was a part of that call that called G-Man's work. And there was a reason why we did that. Looking back on it now, that was a shitty thing to do, and quite frankly, I should apologize to G-Man for allowing that shit to happen. But the reason why we actually did it was because G-Man was lying about getting fired and was asking for donations on the fucking internet because he was fired. So we showed that he was lying about getting fired, therefore he was asking for donations under false pretenses. Granted, that was way too fucking far. I'm not sure why the fuck I thought that was a good idea. And you know what, G-Man? If you want an apology, I'll tell you right here, right now. I'm sorry. That shouldn't have never fucking happened. That was a bullshit thing to do. And yeah, I'm really fucking sorry about that. Yeah, it is a bullshit. It is. Hang on. Hang on. Not done. It is a bullshit thing to do. And I'm gonna say that. Hey, listen, G-Man, if you're watching this, give me a shout on fucking Twitter or something, and I'll give you an apology on a private phone call, just the two of us. All right, there's that.
And I'm no fan of G-Man. Let's say, good. Oh, good.
There is an appropriate way and an inappropriate way to do it. The way you guys went about it was inappropriate, but to confirm whether or not he was doing something under false pretenses is not. That's acceptable. So you could have contacted his work and be like, hey, this is going on, does this person work for you or not? Without having to call him while he was at work. There were other ways to go about it that would have been appropriate. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But here's the thing. Hang on. But here's the thing, guys. Exposing it would have solved nothing. At most, G-Man was going to make maybe $10 off of his fucking GoFundMe. It really didn't warrant the response that it got. So, fuck it as far as I'm concerned.
But here's the thing, and I respect the fact you apologize for that.
That's fair. I was around for this.
But has G-Man ever apologized for threatening to call my landlord to get me evicted? No.
No.
But here's the thing. No. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that people don't seem to understand, and this is something that UNIRock doesn't seem to fucking understand. I can be the better person. Let's hypothetically say that Steve McRae is the second coming of Hitler, and that you've seen him do some pretty nasty shit. You don't have to be as bad as him. Be a better fucking person. So you know what? G-Man can do all this shady back level shit. I don't care. The fact is that I'm a better person. I will admit when I overstepped. I fucking overstepped. And that's it. Nothing else needs to be said there. G-Man can't deal, yeah. It's not a big fucking deal on that case. So here's the thing. Hang on. People need to understand this. Just because you see other people doing it doesn't mean that you should do it yourself. I got suckered in with the group. The group said, hey, we're going to expose him asking for donations fraudulently online. Oh, wow, what a great fucking idea. But then we contacted his work. That was
And
wrong.
to make it very clear, Reds and Bool, did I ever have anything to do with that Gary Ridgway crap?
No,
Nope.
not at all.
And yet I got blamed for that.
Remind me
And yet I was somehow the ringleader of that too. I had no idea.
No,
what the fuck
the
was
ringleader
going on,
was-
and I didn't
the
care.
ringleader
I told Wikipedia,
was-
just leave me the fuck alone. I told
Yeah,
him I
he-
didn't want to have anything to do with this multiple times. I have nothing to do with them. So
Yep.
again, me being associated with the things that had nothing to do with me. I'm very much against that kind of crap.
Yep.
Golden
And I told him
Unicorn
that too.
says- I'm sorry, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead, Bool.
go
And
ahead.
by the way, no offense, but
No.
calling his work wasn't even the worst things that these people have done.
No.
No.
Golden Unicorn for 5 says, good on you, Reds, for apologizing. The other side won't even condemn what happened to Steve's daughter. Now they will hyper-focus on what Reds did.
Yeah,
You know, more power to
they
them.
don't condemn it. They support it. Chess, can you read the names again that were underneath that and talking about it and didn't condemn it? What were the names again?
Oh,
Fiona
that we're
Robertson,
dealing with that fake
Agrippa,
account?
that
Fiona
high guy,
Robertson,
what's
Agrippa, Exiled, that high guy, UNIRock, Nate Brody.
all the people
that
I have
woman-
blocked for being shitty people. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
This is the thing. I don't. When you have people overstepping, like Matt, or people who are supporting or signal boosting these people, like Paul, who at best don't know what's going on, giving them the most amount of charity I could possibly give them. Matt was being shady as shit. But it is possible that some people who are signal boosting these people don't know. They actively try to avoid drama. They actively try to not get involved. They actively try to avoid this shit. But the problem is when you bring these people on, there's baggage that comes with any person. Any person that you bring on, if you bring me on, you bring baggage with you. You bring Steve on, you bring baggage with you. Why? Because these people won't get the fuck out of our bags.
Yeah.
And so when you signal boost these people, they're bringing their baggage onto your show. And so whatever they're doing, if you haven't made it clear, this happened with Mr. Atheist. Best example, Mr. Atheist had Kyle on, decided to restream to both the Non Sequitur show and to his show to do a call-in show, and then got mad and tried to whitewash the situation to say we're not talking about Non Sequitur.
After
The
cease and
issue
desist was
wasn't
given.
whether after the cease and desist was given. Now, whether or not Mr. Atheist knew what was going on, any attempt to make him aware and any attempt to ask him about what was going on was met with a block and a hide, because that was when Twitter first introduced hiding comments. So you're in a situation where if you wanted to have Kyle on, nobody's going to tell you can't have Kyle on. What they're going to tell you is that Kyle has baggage and you need to address that baggage. If you are unclear about your stance about what Kyle has and hasn't not done with Non Sequitur, then people are going to see you as supporting them, even if you don't. So if you have Nate Brody on and you are unclear about your stance about his behavior, past, present, and future, because that's a thing. Sometimes somebody does something in the future that you need to address because you had them on. Because now your old video is promoting them. If you're unclear, if you don't say anything, even worse, you're condoning and supporting their behavior and encouraging it by allowing it to continue in your communities and encouraging people to go to that space and meet up with these toxic people and get caught. And it's too easy for people who are vulnerable to get caught up in this toxic group mentality. We just heard a story about how it happened to Reds. And Reds is not a moron. Reds is not a vulnerable person in that way. So to get caught up in a group, this seems like a good idea kind of thing, because everybody thinks it's a good idea. It can happen to fucking anybody.
Yeah.
And people make mistakes, and that's fine. But when you're promoting these people and sending your audience to these people, you're exposing them to this toxic environment. You're exposing them to these behaviors and them encouraging these behaviors, like we've seen with this Twitter account. because you don't know where your audience is going to go. Oh, well, maybe Nate's YouTube channel is fine. It's not. Look at the comment section. Look at the live chats. Look at what's actually being said. It's not. But let's say it is. And he behaves this different way on Twitter. You don't know where your followers are going to go. You don't know where this behavior is coming from. If you don't research your guests, and if you don't take responsibility for where you're telling your followers to go, you need to do something about that. That you're responsible. You're the one responsible for building and providing spaces and where you're telling people to go. If you send, given that we've already agreed and talked about how these people are taking advantage of people on the spectrum, of people who struggle with social interactions, if your audience has anybody in that vulnerable state, you are exposing them to being abused by these people.
Yeah. And let me bring up a couple points. One, Todd Malencote says, you don't know Jimmy Snow at all if you think he has any interest in this drama. That's the whole point. He doesn't address any of it because he lied to his audience. And by the fact, here's the proof of that. I had actually written him a letter. And he knew damn well that Kyle and I were 50-50. We had been with Jimmy for like the beginning. Jimmy was in our conversation.
Jimmy knew about it.
He outright lied and said, absolutely he knew about it. And he lied to his audience and say, well, I didn't know Kyle didn't have the empowerment to do that. You are a liar.
Even if you take
you are
that
an
out.
Absolute liar.
You take all that out. I was having a perfectly amicable conversation with Jimmy saying, hey, do you think it's reasonable to have a conversation with Kyle and not address any of the non sequitur show information? Do you not think that you're setting yourself up for failure and looking to, like, you're going to end up blocking a lot of people who, because you're not being clear? Do you think that maybe it would be more beneficial to be clear? And he said, no, I'm going to do what I want. And I said, okay, no problem. I'm going to drop the playlist that I have of the situation, so that way you don't have to. So you don't have to address it. Here's the information if people want to go to it, so your followers have access to that information. He hid the comment. Yeah. He hid the comment that had nothing to do with talking shit about him, didn't have anything to do with talking shit about Kyle. It was the Death of Non Sequitur show episode or video that he hid from his followers. This isn't a matter of, oh, he doesn't care about drama. No, he doesn't care about drama that makes him look bad. He thinks this will make him look bad, and so he's distancing himself from it as much as humanly possible.
And here's the funniest part. When people had asked him, he blocked them. And people say, well, you ask Steve anything, he blocks you. Can I have one person I blocked for asking legit questions, not sea lying? People that wanted to know something. No. How many people in my live chat have messaged me asking for details, evidence, and facts? Have I responded almost instantly and given that information? How many people?
I do want to address.
While people mull over that question to give their answer, can I just respond to something real quick?
Are you going to respond to the same thing I'm going to respond to?
No, it's to UNIRock, because apparently he doesn't understand the difference between impersonation accounts and accounts that are meant to make fun of him. Yeah, they're called parody accounts, dude.
Called it.
So anyway,
I asked that earlier.
So anyway, he says, I can't wait until Steve's next stream. Yeah, you can't wait. You want to know why? Because this is the only content you got. Here's the thing, Uni. We know at this particular point in time, you have a tattoo of Steve's face on your ass. You are obsessed with this guy. You want to fuck him. Let's not pretend otherwise. UNIRock wants to fuck Steve. UNIRock wants to suck Steve's cock. UNIRock wants to swallow Steve's load. UNIRock is that obsessed with Steve. So of course, UNIRock, you can't wait for his next stream. You're a fucking fan, bitch. Don't pretend otherwise.
And by the way,
but hang on. Moving on.
All right.
I have never encouraged or retweeted an impersonation account of you. I've never retweeted an account that was pretending to be you. I've retweeted parody accounts of you because I don't care. I mean, I understand that you're kind of a fucking moron, UNIRock, but I'm not going to confuse your account with puny cock on Twitter.
You mean the parody accounts make themselves known as a parody account?
Yeah, or the other account without a crystal balls, not without a crystal ball. That's literally what their fucking name is. UNIRock,
Somebody
And
understand
that's a
the
commentary
difference.
account, not a
Yeah,
parody.
UNIRock, understand the difference between a parody account and an impersonation account. If there was an account that was actually impersonating you, we would not support that. We would not retweet that. We would not interact with it. However, an account that is a parody of the stupid shit that you've said, oh, absolutely. Bring that on, motherfucker. So UNIRock, learn the fucking difference and go fuck yourself.
There was an account called oh god, what's their name? It's the guy with the horse avatar. For a little while, he had my face and my name. Sorry?
Not Chris.
No.
Talk about Peterson, John Peterson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can't remember his account name. Whatever.
It was just a horrid misspelling of
handle.
Your handle, yeah.
Yeah, so he was using my name and my face and then asking people to come on shows without making it clear that that was not me. He was impersonating me for a little while. Now, I found out later that that was not intentional. It wasn't what he was trying to do. He was trying to make fun of me, doing it poorly, but by not making it clear that when asking to go on shows that it wasn't me, people were having to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And so you run into this problem where, amateur conversationalist, where he's impersonating me and getting far more of a response than he would have gotten if he wasn't showing him to be me. Now, he's corrected that. Good. You should correct that because you're confusing the people you're asking. So they're expecting to end up talking to me on your show.
Yeah, and by the way, like the amateur conversationalist, he came to me and I gave him information, and there was one time I actually blew up at him. Yes, I did. And I apologized profusely to him. Guess it doesn't really matter when he starts believing other people and he was manipulated. That's fine. Hey, look, what am I going to do? But when he starts,
you mean that's the stuff I supposedly talk shit about him about by saying, hey, I think he might be getting taken advantage of?
Yeah. He's one of those people, and that's fine. Look, I can't save everybody. Unfortunately, he decided to go the whole Nick Suter route and just throw in his hat with these shitty people. What are you going to do?
Actually,
what are you going to do?
Before we move on, I do want to address, because people are saying, people are talking about how by that logic, what I was describing earlier about being responsible for the people that you have on, they're saying that Steve is responsible for warding them. Steve has made it very clear. You've missed a portion of what I've said. Be clear about your stance on their behaviors, past, present, or future. Steve, how do you feel about rape?
I'm very much against it. I mean,
oh, okay.
The fact that people even have to ask these questions is pretty bizarre.
So you don't condone or think that these types of things are acceptable?
No, and I don't think that people apologizing for rape is acceptable.
Okay, so what about this is unclear to people?
I have no idea.
This is a clear stance,
right? Yeah.
Well, that's what this is the example I wanted. This is the example I want to give. If what I said is consistent, because we value consistency, if what I'm saying is consistent, then Steve should be clear. Whether he's going to have somebody on or not is a different issue. He can have, it's his channel. He's allowed to have whoever he wants on. Now, if he wants to have somebody who's been convicted of a rape, then his stance on rape should be clear to people. If that's not clear to people at this point, I can't fucking help you. Saying, hey, rape isn't okay and apologizing for it is also not okay. There's nothing more to be said. So you do not condone his actions previously. You do not condone that action in the future taken by anybody. There is no support of what he has been convicted of.
Yeah,
and you want to know, when was the last time he was around on this channel, by the way?
I only had him on once. It was a one-shot deal. But let me point this out. Wouldn't that be a too quo fallacy, anyways? Let's say that I was convicted 10 times over rapist. I mean, why not throw this out there, right? Mm-hmm. Steve is, he goes around raping everybody. Hey, rape. He loves rape, because I actually people up out there. They actually told Robert Reed that Steve loves rape. They tweeted him.
Yep, that happened.
But let's assume that's the case. Does that make what they did to my daughter justifiable? Does that make making her into a victim justifiable if that was the case? That's called a two-quote-way fallacy.
That's one thing that I called out by a dumbass by the name of Skeptically Steve. And
that guy
that dude is so dedicated to commenting on every single one of my videos, and he hasn't commented on the last one, and I'm actually kind of upset about it.
No.
I think a lot of these people we actually know have fake accounts because let me read. Just too bizarre.
I know. He's kind of a fucking dumbass. I know he's kind of a fucking dumbass. I get that, but let me read this to you. He goes, "I don't agree with that, but what do you expect, you idiot? Steve is full of crap. He harasses people." And I'm like, again, you can make the claim that Steve McRae is the reincarnation of Hitler himself. This shit is not okay. Be better. This is what the fuck I've been telling you people the entire goddamn time. Be better. But instead, what these motherfuckers are trying to do is they're actually trying to justify why someone said that your daughter was raped by you.
Exactly.
They're actually trying to fucking
rape apologetics.
That sounds like some kind of apologetics. That sounds like some kind of fucking apologetics.
It's worse than that, but so I'll read these two things real quick. Moon says $5. Uni wishes he was friends with Reds. Womp womp womp. Yeah. Hey, by the way, Reds, were you ever besties with Reds? With Uni? Was that a complete lie?
Off. No.
I mean,
ew.
But I want to read this because this I think is important. Sweet Heathen says, Steve's not the only one who accused me of wait.
Steve's not the only one who accused me of lying about my childhood assault just because I said some truth they didn't like.
What is that misworded?
No. She's saying that she's saying. Okay, let me clarify this. For you.
Steve's not the one. Steve's not the one. She doesn't use the word only at all.
Oh, sorry, that was my mistake.
Yeah, I was reading that wrong too. I was like, okay, so that
Steve's not the one who accused me of lying about my childhood assault because I said the truth they didn't like. You mean because of your skin color?
Mm-hmm. But yeah, as I was saying, Skeptically Steve, in his infinite wisdom, has said that, what do you expect? Steve is full of crap. Apparently trying to justify why this tweet exists. This tweet of your daughter supposedly saying that you raped her and made all your friends watch.
Now I will clarify this. The names that Cheshire gave, I think, are under that account, not necessarily under that tweet. And supposedly Exile is actually one of the very few that's condemning this tweet. I have it blocked.
I don't know.
Is that a clarification?
I have not seen. These are the names of people that I've seen interacting with this account without
not necessarily
condemning.
under that specific tweet. Yeah.
Not under that specific tweet. No. I went and looked at the account and looked at the few tweets that they had made and looked at who was encouraging them and interacting with them without having said anything in direct response to that account.
Just wanted to clarify that.
Yes.
Yeah. So Sweet says, yeah, being a light-skinned half African American makes me a manipulator or a racist or something. Yeah. And by the way, when have we ever used any intrinsic property to try to defeat an argument? But I say this all the time.
I love
her skin color. She wasn't black
hang on. I love this. I absolutely love this because they, on one hand, they're going to go ahead and say racism is never okay, and on the other hand, they're going to say, "Fuck white people."
It just boggles my mind.
Mm-hmm.
There is a. Listen, this is something that has gone on and has been a common trope that has been discussed by people who do debunking for a long time, at least as long as I've been watching. And it's that when you've resorted to character assassinations or to accusations that are irrelevant or not, they don't mean anything to what's being said, they don't address the argument, then you can't address the argument.
Yeah, and by the way, even if some of them have, I mean, you can't check everything.
Oh yeah, I'm a white girl with daddy issues.
Yeah, even if they have condemned this one thing, they still support these accounts. They still support UNIRock. They still support Nate Brody.
Let me make this.
That's all that matters to me.
Let me make this clear. The bullshit that they have spewed over the last few months to the last few years.
They don't get a pass by one condemnation.
Yeah, no. All the bullshit that they have spewed over the last few years has made it so that it's easier for these accounts to exist, in my opinion.
Yes, exactly. They foster this kind of atmosphere.
They fostered that kind of atmosphere. Thank you, Steve. That's a great way of wording it. So if they really want shit like this to stop, maybe they can lead by example and fuck off. Because here's the thing. Every single time that we address these people, we address these people when they clearly overstep a line. Meanwhile, they constantly bring us up in everything. UNIRock wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't for Steve McRae. Nate Brody wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't for Steve McRae. They thrive on Steve McRae. As of right now, or not as of right now, but at the time that Nate Brody was accusing Sweet Heathen of harassing him, he was guilty of making, and I'm not making this shit up, over 1,000 minutes worth of content on Steve McRae. I'm sorry, who's the fucking harasser?
Yeah, and by the way, they can make as many videos as they want. That's not necessarily harassment. Making shit
but
up,
here's the
that's
thing.
harassment.
If they're going to be hypocrites, can they at least do a better job of hiding it? Fuck!
They don't try to hide it, though. That's the funniest part. They make it very open. They don't try to hide it.
A little bit of effort is all I'm asking.
Guys, essentially what he's saying is get on my level. You guys are low tier.
Yeah, and by the way, okay. I'm just trying to find something. I really have a hard time finding crap on my computer.
Because you're not organized and you don't have a file that's called what did you say it was? Incriminating shit.
I have downloads and I've asked
There's a folder and
I'm making a file called incriminating shit. Yeah. Cool, both of us. We're making files. Cheers. We're making files called incriminating shit.
Just think, every file I was ever sent by Kyle Curtis. I do have that. Yeah, I have that file already. Thank you.
Helio says only Exiled has condemned it, but the rest of the group has shifted to claiming that Steve's made this account to make Uni and Menace look bad. This is what we mean. This is the victim blaming. This is
By the way,
I think that Chesh was doxing herself to fucking.
By the way, here's the thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've never had a conversation with Exile. Exile, it was my mistake, and was a friends with Reds and told Reds, stop associating with Steve or we're going to fuck with you, is basically the narrative I got.
I went and found out about the Exile account from Steve saying,
I have no idea who she is.
Chat, who the fuck is this? I went and looked at the account and started interacting with them, being like, what the fuck? And then they said I was Reds' girlfriend. And, I'm flattered to be the girlfriend of the ugliest man on the planet, but I like to think I have standards.
Well,
do you guys think I have a chance? But
Chess, probably not, but hey, knock yourself out.
One in the chat, if you guys think Reds has a chance with me. 2 in the chat, no fucking way in hell.
That's not fair. A lot of them don't know what he looks like, or they're definitely saying...
Oh, that's true. All right, so, okay, it's a little bit skewed in Reds' favor then currently, so we'll see what chat says.
I can't find it now, but I do remember very clearly, and I'll look for it. But
go to public opinion, my dude.
Of Fiona mentioning me with, what was it?
Fiona. Jesus Christ.
I try to find her screenshots because I don't want to misquote her because then people misquote, so I'm just going to hold off.
I have
everywhere about me.
I have something to say. I have something to say about that. First, the Exile thing. Yeah, she did try to say, "Oh, you need to disassociate yourself with Steve because of this, that," and I'm like, it sounds like your problem is with Steve. Why don't you go talk to him? I tried, but he blocked me. Okay, then fuck off. Move on with your life.
I know who she is because I don't.
You know what? I don't know. I don't care. I really don't fucking care about XL and her fucking panties being in a twist for, what, over a year now? Don't really care. But moving on to Fiona, we have a audio clip of Fiona that may or may not make its way into a video in the future of her saying, "I am so scared of poking my wee head out of the bushes, because as soon as I do, I just get attacked. I just get attacked, and then I get fucking knackered." Well, here's the thing, Fiona. Wherever I see bullshit with these troll accounts, and they're circling Steve like fucking sharks drawing the blood, I see you there with them. You've been poking your head out of the you've been poking your head out of the goddamn bush for longer than I can fucking remember. You are such a fucking bullshit artist. All right, if you're so scared about if you're so scared of being criticized, if you're so scared of sticking your head out of the wee bushes, then shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we wanted nothing to do with Fiona. Literally, I remember when I blocked her and I said, I've had enough of your bullshit. And she has not left us alone since. And
you are not the victim here. You're simply playing.
Definitely not the victim.
Yeah, Fiona, you are not the victim here. You're simply playing one on the fucking internet, and I can see right through that shit. All right? So you go around saying, "Oh, by the way, I'm scared to poke my wee head out of the bushes. I'm scared to do this because of what they might say about me." Yet here you are, every single fucking time, like clockwork, inserting yourself into bullshit that has absolutely nothing to do with you. Why don't you take that PhD that you earned and do something productive with it on your channel? Be the next Bill Nye the Science Guy. You might actually be able to do something with your fucking life that's actually worth a shit. Or, hey, Nate Brody, if you actually do something that's a little bit more honest, you could be the next Legal Eagle. But no, you decide to become infatuated with your fucking hate boner with Steve, and this is exactly why you'll never amount to anything other than a fucking drama channel. Fuck you guys.
Hey guys.
And let me point this out. Guys. By the way, hang on. I just sent. By the way, I sent 3 things to Sean Ufford. I meant to send to Bullinator. Sorry about it, Sean. But they weren't bad. But Dave, this is a good segue to show those things real quick because I want to show those. But yes, go ahead, Chesh.
You wanted to show this one?
Hey guys, literally all of the shit could end today if they all just stopped.
No means no. Look, I will never mention these people's names ever fucking again. I didn't for years. I didn't mention them.
If you look at any of these videos that have been done about this situation where we've actually talked about this, at no point have they ever been a situation where we're going after that. It's always been in response to. The Call Me an Obloquy video wasn't an attack on Fiona. The Call Me an Obloquy video was an attack on her claim. Different things. Very, very different things. But you'll notice there has been no video, no argument, no debate that has ever been able to undo that video, and yet they're still making the claim. This is the situation where you have skeptics or atheists going after creationists for spewing the same bullshit like Kent Hovind. Same fucking thing. So Steve McRae, which is the Steve McRae. Why are they so stupid? They're using the Steve McRae _ as the fucking as the handle, and people can't read. Okay, OPT lawyer is wrong. When has Steve ever said that?
Oh,
his legal advice matches his 2-year per law degree. I told OP yesterday. You mean OPT? Not to fucking piss me off. And if you come on to me sideways, question mark.
By the way, we didn't make a song. OPT, yeah, you know me. You know.
OPT, yo, you know me. Yo, OPT, right? Yeah, you know me. Okay. With the my god.
I could lay down some raps. Even though I can't rap, I can write them.
I need this shit of all days today. You know what? I helped you. Go take the 300 subs and scrape off.
What does it even mean?
Nobody
But I mean,
who knows anything about Steve thinks that this is Steve, right?
but this is what I'm
Like,
this is what I'm
nobody-
saying though. They have been actively going, messaging people, trying to pretend to be me. This is not the first time. And yet, again, these people are being supported by those people that we named. Now, I don't know if those names were actually under this particular tweet or something like that. Cheshire has read off all the names, but those names have supported these channels and these types of behaviors. That's the whole point. They've literally supported them. And I wish I could find the freaking screenshot from Fiona where she's accusing me of all kinds of shit. And yet people are like, oh, she's the victim. Boy of Ink, $5. With enough alcohol to kill an elephant, Reds will have a chance with Chesh, £5. I don't think Chesh
to be fair,
Red's
got a lot of twos. Apparently the chat believes in you, Red, so maybe
I
you
think
should
I
give
have
it
a
a
better
shot.
chance with Reds than Reds does with Chesh, but whatever. Hey,
Gee.
Nikki showed up. Nikki. Been a while, Nikki. We love you. But okay, so yeah, I just want to show you some of these these other screenshots. So next one, please, because I will get them all on here. So we were talking about them.
Which one do you want me to go
Nate's
to?
one. Nate's.
Nate's?
Somebody's asking me to
Okay.
translate the tweet there. You can switch it over, it's fine. I can still see it. I will translate that last tweet to English. I'm gonna shit on OPT because Steve is bad person and OPT says Steve's right. Fuck OPT. You're welcome.
Yep, that's it. Okay, so I mentioned about, and I sent this to Hog Guy Champ. This is from Nate Brody. So we're all on the same page. Sweet Heathen was stalking me on Twitter. Here are all the times I tweeted with her directly, only 4 times. Who was stalking too? When Nate, I don't know if he deleted tweets. I have no idea. I don't think Sweet Heathen, I don't know how many times she tweeted him. It couldn't have been more than a handful at all. But if anybody thinks that Sweet Heathen was stalking him, they're out of their freaking mind. I mean, he's coming after me for years, and he knows I actually care about Sweet Heathen, so he goes after her. People know I care about Cheshire, so they go after her. People know I care about Reds, so they go after him. People know I care about Bool, they go after him. This is what these people that she has named, they still support these people. They still actively support this type of fucking narrative. When anybody who knows anything about Sweet Heathen would know she would never do anything like this.
Well, okay, so here's the thing you might notice. Here's the number of times I tweeted at her directly, only 4 times. Why are you not screenshotting the number of times she tweeted at you?
Right? Yeah, where's the stockish behavior, Nate? Please
Why-
show us.
So-
Please
so
show
why
Why does him talking to her debunk her stalking him? I don't understand.
And he
Right,
tags
it
her. Why
doesn't.
would you tax that? Why would you tax somebody that's stalking you, dude?
Oh yeah, here's
So
a question. Here's a question.
I have
Hang on.
okay, before you do that, hold on. Before you do that, I have a correction. I fucked it up. I fucked up 1 and 2. Nobody believes in you, Reds, and I'm sorry for that. Go on.
Cool. Anyway, so the number that Nate is pointing out there is 4. So I wonder what he has to say about his own record of over 1,000 minutes of content on Steve McRae. If talking about someone 4 times when that person doesn't want to be spoken about by you or have anything to do with you or whatever, if that is stalking, then Steve telling you to fuck off when you were at 500 minutes of content should be enough to label you a stalker.
Hey, look, I'm perfectly fine with Nate. If Nate thinks I actually got something wrong, you can make 1,000 videos on me. I don't care. That's absolutely nothing wrong with doing commentary on
Not
people that get
relevant.
stuff wrong. But he makes things up. That's the difference. He legit makes things up and doesn't care whether they have any veracality or not. Can I get the next shot real quick? Because I want to get this out real quick.
There's something to be said for, and I reiterate this again. I guarantee you, all of the 4 people in this chat, all of the 4 people here, guaranteed, will never talk about any of these people again if they go away. Guaranteed.
I will make that under absolute promise. I never wanted to talk about it.
If you are asking these things, if you are asking for these things to stop, if you want us to no longer have to address this or talk about this shit again, I guarantee you that if these people stop, we will not. So if you want them to stop, you need to let them know that in a way that is that they understand, which means like if you're watching them, if you're encouraging them through either super chats or through just viewer numbers and watch numbers or responding to them on Twitter, that is encouragement, because negative attention is still attention, at least to these people. So if you want this to stop and you want us to never have to address this again, all you have to do is tell them, don't. Nate could have a great channel. Reds is correct. Nate could have to be the next legal eagle. He could be the next big legalese channel, but unfortunately he can't do that because he's too busy hating on Steve, because his coverage of Non Sequitur Show has been so disgustingly incorrect that it makes him look like shit.
It affects his reputation, and like I said, after this case is resolved, after there are criminal charges, and after there is a contempt hearing, I will be writing a blog on every one of these people, and I will be giving all the details.
I can't
exactly
wait
what they
until
did, all the mistakes they made.
I can't wait till I never have to talk about any of these fucking assholes ever again.
I do have a webpage, and thousands of people read my blogs.
I can't wait till they're fucking in the past and they're going to be forced to stay there.
And that's fine. Look, if Nate Brody said right now, I will never speak of Steve again or make anything up, and I apologize for lying about him, you know what? I probably wouldn't bother with him.
That would require
he just stopped.
That would require integrity, and unfortunately, Nate doesn't have integrity. So let me also point this out. And then I'm going to kind of fuck off. At no point is it okay to bring up someone's child, especially when you're using that child to make up a bullshit story that child was raped by their father. At no point is that okay. It will never be okay. I see a lot of people coming to, they answer the rally cry and they report the fucking account. And I don't think we've said this enough, so I'm going to say it right here, right now. Thank you to everyone who has reported that account, who has blocked that account. Thank you to everyone who is taking the necessary action to make sure that bullshit gets taken down, because that is disgusting. No matter who you are, no matter what your opinions are of whoever is in this fucking retarded ass corner of the internet that we're in, we should all agree that shit is not okay, and we should take action to make sure that it gets taken down swiftly and with a vengeance, because fuck that shit. With that, I'm out.
Well, hang on quick before you leave. Why does it take something like that? I was accused of attempted murder. People bought into that narrative. People are like, oh, Steve sent Todd or Joey over to go shoot up Kyle's place, in a place where he wasn't even living. Because apparently stealing the name of an internet click on a platform that no longer fucking exists that made $30
is enough of a justification for that kind of fucking behavior. So you know what? Fuck if I know at this point.
It's obsessive.
So
these people are legit obsessive.
So this is a matter of apologetics for all of this behavior the whole time. Yes. We already knew these people were rape apologists. I already demonstrated that on Defango's channel. We also know that at this point from In Time that these people are, it's a matter to them. This is their words, what they've said, that it is either you're with Steve or you're against Steve. And just because you're against Steve doesn't mean you're supporting Kyle. You're only pushing whatever you can that goes against Steve. So you might not agree with whatever Kyle did, but you're going to push it anyway because it's against Steve. This is shit that was on In Time. I don't know what you...
In Time promoted these types of people. In Time live.
Well, this is what I'm explaining, right? Like, what is there to gain here? I said, if people agree to stop.
I'm gonna.
You gotta go to bed. Get your beauty rest. We know you need it a lot.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, peace out.
All right, so let me make this very clear because I want to get this on record too. I do not have the position, you're either with me or against me. I do not ever have that position. I'm not a black and white phallicist, okay?
This was their position, yes.
Hang on. I do say this, though. If you want to remain neutral, God bless you. Then remain fucking neutral. Don't claim you're remaining neutral like Nick was doing and then supporting them and actively supporting them. and then lying to our face about it. That's
there is something to say for what is and is not actually neutral, and I think we've covered that enough. If anybody does have any questions about that, feel free to ask. But on the other hand, we have a situation where it's not a matter of a disagreement on opinion. There's somebody on Twitter that said that they didn't like Steve, but they would never say anything like this because of their distaste for Steve's presentation. Because you can dislike someone's presentation, but that is not relevant to whether or not, one, their argument is valid, or two, whether or not they fucking done shit that you're accusing them of. So if I'm in a situation where let's say what the shit going on about me is correct, because of course this shit starts happening as soon as I'm not on Twitter anymore to say that no, of course it's not. If I am being sued and if I am going to prison over a remark that was I'm making a point and I'm being facetious, then where does that put these people who are actively trying to put this out purposefully? Are they all getting sued? Are they all going to prison? Are they all getting their accounts removed and then going around that to actually break terms of service?
What about the people that are actively supporting Kyle, who was found liable for fraudulent conversion, stole all the money, admitted to lying multiple times? Has actually is looking under investigation now for forgery, submitting false documentation, and yet they're supporting him, right? Huge double standard there, and yet you have one tweet and they think you're the one going to prison when he's looking at, I don't know, multiple felonies. I'm like, legit, and they think that I'm being subpoenaed. They think that my records matter. They think that I'm somehow in trouble. This is the type of mentality that they have. Okay, then let me read this out so we can get this going real quick. Sweet Heathen says, Nick's the one that told me Nate was spreading BS about me leaving Steve in Texas. They have no loyalty and think that everything will just stay in the background. I question many things Nate has said and always will now. Yeah, I don't blame you for that. I will go on record. Nate and Nick, both of you are liars. Nick, you are exceptionally a liar. Like, you fooled me. You really fucking did, man. I thought you were a friend. I trusted you, just like I trusted Kyle, and you end up being exactly freaking like him. Exactly like him. And the people you threw down with, exactly like these people. The people that are supporting all this behavior.
Steve, did I ever tell you that you shouldn't keep Nick around?
No, you fought me. No, well, you lambasted me for keeping Nick as a friend, but you understood it. You recognized the fact that I was like, look, I'm not going to throw Nick under the bus unless I have actual evidence of him lying. And what happened?
Right.
I got actual evidence of him lying.
But did I ever tell you, hey, don't have this person? But did I ever tell you don't have this person on your shows?
No.
Did I advise you against trusting him? That's something I did.
Yes.
Yes, I said, hey, I'm noticing this behavior. Keep an eye out. I also have another question. Before I even got to that point, was I saying, hey, I'm noticing this. Are you also noticing it?
Yes, and there were some red flags, but I was like, I get principle of charity, and I was willing to look past certain things. But then when I found out what he did, what he was doing, how he treated Bool, how he treated Sweet Heathen, couldn't look past it any longer. There's just, I have to be absolutely sure that there was lies involved, and yes, he absolutely has lied.
Mm-hmm. So what we're talking about is a situation where, hey, I noticed some red flags and went to go to people to confirm that I wasn't crazy and that I actually was seeing these red flags. And was I or was I not totally willing to grant that charity and grant that you hadn't seen these things? And I went, oh, okay, no problem. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
So tell me, does that equate to I was talking shit about Nick, or I was asking to see if you were getting the same vibes I was from what he was saying?
You were asking me if I was saying the same things, and there were some things I questioned, but I was like, okay, well, let me look into these things more. Again, I will give even when you're accused of Jim of lying on stream, right? I even told you I don't like accusations of lying unless there's overwhelming evidence that I can actually show, or I am convinced myself.
And what did you get? Did you get overwhelming evidence?
Yes. Yes.
Hey!
Again, I have to do my due diligence. But yes, I did.
I mean, to be fair, the overwhelming evidence is on that stream, but it's hard to deal with shit. Here's the thing
when you
with the principle of charity. I also grant that charity to Steve sometimes, where he does something that I may or may not agree with, and I go, you know what? It's a live stream. It's difficult. It's not that easy to necessarily recognize that when these things are happening to you, when they're happening in real time, and when it's somebody who you think is your friend.
Yeah, well, you know, there's the thing. We are trustworthy people, right? I mean, we trust people we bring them into our lives. We think that they're actually friends. But then, as you said, there's some red flags. I've never had a red flag with you or Bool or Reds. Sure, you know, you and I disagree on certain things, but we do so from a place of love. You know, I adore you. I love you very much. I trust you explicitly. I mean, you're my daughter's contact list, for God's sake. I mean, that you're the one of the very few people that know anything about her. That's how much I trust you. That's a lot, right? Because you can see what happens when people have my daughter's information, what they're capable of doing. If it was ever down in my mind thinking that Chess would ever do anything like this, you think I would ever have her even talk to my daughter? Hell no.
I have messaged your daughter one time after a call I was in that she happened to be in, where she was talking about her English project. And I told her that I studied English throughout high school and into university. If you have any questions or you want somebody to edit or look through or read your essay, hit me up. I know some people.
Yeah, well, I told her the same thing about math and stuff. She just won't take advantage of it. But let me read this real quick. So this is Sweet Heathen.
You gotta fucking...
I know. She's at that stage where she just, I don't know. She knows that people are willing to help her.
Yeah, Sweet says Chesh is closer to Steve's fam than I am. Maybe.
Well, maybe. But, you know.
She says that's valid. I love Sweet.
You know what?
Discourse chance.
People wonder why I get you guys confused a lot. It's just like, we're just going to call you guys like, cheat would be a good name. Cheat. Just Sweet. Cheat. But yeah, I mix them up a lot. All right, so Sweet Heathen, to respond to Nate, said, I love everyone I follow, but I just can't with this guy anymore. What he's done to me aside, I'm so sick of seeing his bullshit towards people I love. If I see you support his ass, Nate Brody, from now on, I'm unfollowing for my own sanity. Please don't take this as anything else. And this is the person that he's accused of stalking him. And I don't blame her. By the way, I'm thinking about doing this very thing. I'm not saying you have to block these people. Yeah, she's already done it, but I've actually...
I've done it with... the most notable person I've done it with is Shannon. I don't have any disrespect towards Shannon. I do know that she's lied about me directly. However, that's besides the point. I don't want to get in drama with her. I don't want to see her barbed comments and be tempted into responding to them. Now, there's a reason why you may choose a block over a mute. A mute still allows people to see what you're commenting on and allows you to see what they're commenting on, and you still see those things more regularly, whereas a block means that she can't comment on my stuff and I have no intention of commenting on her stuff. And so even when people are retweeting her, I'm not seeing what they're retweeting because I've completely left it alone. And now that is entirely not based on disrespect or whatever her opinion may or may not be. It is simply because I do not want to fight with her on Twitter. And these are people, yes, Shannon Q. And these are people who tout that, Twitter isn't a big deal and it shouldn't matter whether you choose to shoot or to not block somebody because it has nothing to do with whatever happens in the background. And the drama that happens online has nothing to do with what happens in real life. I had this conversation with her in real life. Unfortunately, she
by the way, I've been using mute more often too for that.
Validates her lying about me because she thinks I'm not going to see it. So I have nothing against Shannon. I have no interest in arguing with her or getting into drama with her. I have no interest in discussing this issue. If she wants to come to me, she has my fucking real life phone number.
All right, so let me point this out there again because I was saying that we're going to consider this. If I unfollow somebody, like on Twitter, even somebody that I love to death because they want to continue to talk to these people. Hang on, let me get it out. I still have other ways of contacting them. Like, for example, like Monia being a Mad Lab, she loves talking to these people. Okay, I don't want to see it in my timeline any longer. Right, but she does contact me on Facebook or email, right? I mean, but I just don't want to see it in my timeline. So I will be probably unfollowing people as I follow these people.
Right. The only place that Shannon is ever blocked currently is on Twitter. The only place that Nick has ever been blocked is on Twitter. That I saw people giving Nick the benefit of the doubt and saying, hey, well, maybe the only way he can contact Chesh to say that this is a problem is by doing it publicly because he has no way of contacting her otherwise. He is not blocked on Hangouts. He is not blocked on Discord. There are plenty of other ways that he could have contacted. Yeah, that's our main thing is
Discord. People know I hate Discord. If people say, hey, Steve on Discord said this, you really need to double check that. Because I barely.
What I'm saying is this actually is not the case. Shannon has my in real life phone number. If she thinks that I have a problem with her personally, she could have easily messaged me in that way. And at no point have I said. The only thing that I have said negatively about Shannon is that she is. I do not think the way she's handled the non sequitur situation is appropriate. And I think that it's reasonable for people to question her on that. Now, did I say that people need to go and question her on that? No, I said that if people do, I think that's a valid question to ask. Now, did I say that she is entirely wrong and is culpable for a bunch of damage? No. I was done. When I blocked Shannon was when she commented on Anti-Ordinary's video calling Steve a fraud and running fraudulent. Running fraudulent hangouts, saying, "Hey, good job." So you're encouraging somebody claiming that Steve is a fraud. Out too. Okay.
I have nothing against Shannon Q. She absolutely got helped get started by this channel.
I just don't want to deal with her.
But hang on, but I will call Shannon Q out. You did support Anti-Ordinary, who was a massive troll, who actually went after and harmed people, and I don't think Shannon Q ever addressed that properly. That I will say. No. But other than that,
she hasn't addressed any of this properly at all.
I think a lot of this was the block list with like Shannon for some reason and Misha Griffith got upset we block people. This is why we block people. This is the type of shit that happens to these accounts that we have blocked, and they think it's some kind of bad thing that we block these people.
I blocked Misha when she blocked all of us, when she went to hang out with UNIRock and started claiming that you were harassing someone's child. Yeah. So Misha,
and she supports UNIRock.
Hold on. So Misha, I'm talking to you directly now. If you're watching this, are you going to block UNIRock and Nate, whose hangouts you are hanging around in their live chat and calling, or are you going to call them out, or are you going to block them for attacking someone's child and for encouraging people and fostering a community that encourages attacking someone's child?
Yeah, and so much for evidence, right? I loved Misha Griffith, and yet, like I said, we started her on her way to get her channel and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, she doesn't care that I was accused of fraud. She doesn't care that I was accused of molesting my child. She doesn't care that I was accused of attempted murder. All these things that Uni does, and her big thing was, oh, well, Steve blocks people. That's your biggest complaint, Misha? That I block people that do these despicable things that you don't call out, that you support these things, Misha Griffith? Explain this to me. I did nothing but be your friend. I supported you in DM. I cared about you. And all you did was shit on me by supporting people that have actively character assassinated me with no evidence whatsoever. I would love to hear your explanation for that. I will have you on to explain that. Because I don't get it.
Ilya did the same thing. No means no. Oh, please.
I don't get it.
Oh, please.
I really don't
do you really think... I have a question, because I'm actually not sure. Do you think Misha would come on to a show and talk about this? Do you think she would actually come and have a...
Sure. Why not?
Would you think she would be? No. She would actually come onto a show and say, "Hey, here's my problem with what you did, and let's talk about the problem with what you did." Because as far as I know, she never had a problem with anything I did. She had a problem with something you did, which isn't even something you did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
she was
I would
misrepresented,
love
and she didn't care.
to have that conversation, and I would love for her to actually demonstrate whatever issue she has is active and not just in her own head. I tell you what.
Wait, the same thing like
I'm
John Peters
right
did?
now, and I have a really, really low expectation and opinion of her at this point. However, if she were actually willing to come on and have this conversation, not only would I put my standard back to zero, I will put her back to a zero standard and say that, hey, listen, my opinion of you is now no longer so deep into the negative, it is buried under the sand. I will put it back at zero and have that conversation on equal footing. You put me back to zero and have this conversation, I'll put you back to zero and have this conversation, and we can assess from there what kind of people we are. Paulogia recently tweeted out, hey, are you doing the thing that you want to be known for? And I just responded, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Look, I am proud of everything I've ever done on my 8 years on being on YouTube. I stand by it. We supported people like Lily Jean, who was bullied and harassed. And what did we get for it? We got shat on for it, right? Even though people are recognizing now that there was actively a campaign against her. Matter of fact, huge shout out to that writer. I can't remember her name, Chelsea Handler or something like that. Was that her name? Chelsea something or other. That had a scathing report on Lily Jean, had actually wrote another one apologizing to her, realized she was manipulated, realized she was lied to, and yet we get shit on for helping a child that was basically harassed since she was 15, and we're the bad guys for that.
Oh, of course.
Here they are going after my 15-year-old daughter. It's just UNIRock and his crew. No big fucking deal, right? It's just a joke.
It doesn't matter, right? It's the same as when they all thought I was underage. They didn't care.
They didn't care. So anyways, I mean, I've got everything I've wanted out on this particular video. Like I said, Caffeine Corner will continue to
People are asking me what Nick's done. If there's enough interest in the chat, let us know in the comments down below. I can actually go through that if you're interested. As I haven't actually. Yeah. There's a story to be had there, and I don't need anything that is private to use to demonstrate what the fuckery went on with that. I can do that all publicly because he was kind enough to make all of that public. So yeah. I can do that if necessary.
So,
but,
like whatever. I said, Caffeine Corner is eventually going to be molded into, non sequitur kind of stuff. This stuff is just a holdover. Anybody who says, by the way, why wasn't Steve doing non sequitur on his channel? You're an idiot. Don't ever message me.
Don't ever message me. Don't talk about me again. Caffeine Corner has always been a holdover / practice / getting people prepared. The reason why we're talking about this kind of stuff is Nate's already making videos about non sequitur, but when they start making videos about whatever we're talking about on non sequitur, you guys will be aware and prepared to be able to recognize these kinds of issues, not only in your own life, but in situations where it does pertain to us and whatever we're doing, because it's gonna be bullshit. Because what's an interesting conversation? Talking about whether it's okay to platform and in what situation and what is appropriate to platform when it comes to Warden. That's a reasonable conversation to have. Hey, do we think it's a good idea that Steve did or did not platform this person? And in what cases is it okay? And in what cases is it not okay? And how should it be handled? That's a reasonable conversation. Saying Steve is a rape apologist, not a reasonable fucking conversation.
So I'm going to be
go figure.
I will probably, like I said,
you can have a conversation about it.
I'll probably be moving this stuff to the Great Debate Community channel, Twitter Tuesday, where we can call out this type of behavior. They want my attention. They've got it. Because here's the thing. They're going to get people watching anyways, right? We were hoping never to really draw attention to people.
Have them talking about whatever you're fucking talking about and you talking about them, then you would have them talking about your kids, so it makes sense.
Well, that's what Uni wanted. Uni told me, hey, Steve, I make a video, you make a video, we both profit. I'm like, I'm not into that bullshit, dude. That's exactly what he told me.
That's what Nate was saying. It's the same thing Nate said. Same thing.
Yeah, I'm not into that.
Fight to the death.
Nate wanted that same thing. I have that tweet. Nate agreed with me on all that. By the way, I have it all on record. Nate agreed with me all on the agnostic atheist shit. He knew he was trolling on all that just for views, and he was told to fight me to the death on that just for drama and just for views. Right? I mean, he has no integrity whatsoever. But anyways, like I said, I'll be doing this probably on the Great Debate community if something like this comes up. I'm not going to do it regularly, but I really do want to get this channel back to the science and philosophy and the conversations and the hangouts and stuff like that, because this stuff about my daughter I have to address, because if it ever became bigger, there's going to be an issue. But I want you as the viewer to recognize these types of behaviors. That's the thing that the Caffeine Corner was there for, to point these things out and give you guys the tools to recognize it. And yes, my numbers have grown because of it, but actually view count has it, but
if anybody gets any kind of takeaway from this, you can dislike somebody. You cannot like somebody, you cannot follow them, you can choose to watch and choose to watch, not to watch. And that's fine. You can choose to disagree with them. You can even have arguments. And remember old school flame wars? Fuck yes. Old school flame wars, where you end the flame war and you go off and be like, think later down the line, man, I hope that guy's doing okay. There is no excuse for going after an underage girl of somebody's and somebody's parenting if you have no basis to go off of. None. Zero. Zip. This shit is not acceptable. Doxing isn't acceptable. Going after children is not acceptable. Bringing people into shit that they're not part of. Not fucking acceptable. You can dislike somebody. Oh, you can hate me. You can hate Steve. You can hate Bool. I don't know why if anybody hates Bool, just stay away from me. I don't want to deal with you.
I don't either.
I'm just not dealing with that. You want to talk about an echo chamber? We do have an echo chamber, and it is only love for Bool. So if you hate Bool, keep it to your fucking self. Nobody cares. But fucking sakes, people, there is no excuse and no reason for this kind of behavior, because if you can address that Steve is a bad guy, then address that Steve is a bad guy. You shouldn't need to make shit up. And if you have to make shit up, it means that it doesn't exist and you're just having...
Or you have to make impersonation accounts. I mean, they do it to themselves. They've literally showed the evidence for themselves of things that we've been saying for how long. I can't even recall how long this
where even is anybody that follows us. If this were the case, if it were the case that we were also doing this, don't you think you would see a singular UNIRock impersonation account? Because I haven't seen one. I haven't seen a single one that is an impersonation account of UNIRock. I saw one parody account that did too good of a job parodying Katie. That was supposed to be a parody, though. And then we were like, hey, you're doing too good of a job. It's seeming like an impersonation account. Fix it.
And I will make this very clear. If you're one of the people that make an impersonation account, whether for or against whatever, if you ever go to somebody's DMs, pretend to be something you're not, just don't subscribe to me. Don't be a patron to me. Don't be a member. I have never had anything to do with these people that would ever do something like that.
Nope.
I don't know anybody that has actually done this from our side. I do not know. People say, well, Steve,
please show us any Caffeine Corner episode where we've been
in my life supported an impersonation account. Parody accounts are not impersonation accounts. Let me make that very clear. If I think that, matter of fact, Jess was right. There was at one time that account was too close, and we were like, you need to change this. You need to make sure that you're not going to be considered an impersonation account. We're the ones that point out this behavior. I don't care who it's from. If Rhetoric made an impersonation account, I would be all over his ass. Don't think for a second that I wouldn't. So anybody says that we do these types of behaviors, they're lying.
The slut shaming and revenge porn that have also come from these people. Supposed revenge porn.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Not only are you willing to do revenge porn, you don't even get it right.
Yeah, right.
And you had to like, oh, this is that person. Okay, but anyways,
all right, we've been
I've
get the fuck out of here.
Let's leave God. Do you have anything else you want to add to this? Because I think we've got it all out there. Please share this video. And anytime you see these types of behaviors, anytime you see anybody making these accusations of any kind, either ask for evidence or just not engage with these people. Not
and
any
if
of
you
them.
see shit that's actually against terms of service, report it. So if you see an account from someone that has had their account removed and they've made another one to circumvent the Twitter ban, that's against terms of service. Report it.
And also, yes, you can message me if you want any information on this stuff. People message me all the time. I will give you the facts. Anybody who's told you Steve blocks anybody who asks any questions, they're lying to you.
Do us a favor. And if you're asking questions about random shit that other people are saying about us, don't message us about it. Message them about it. Fuck off.
Yeah, I don't mind when people say, hey, look, if somebody sends me something that says, hey, this person says this, you have any idea what they're talking about? That's okay. I mean, like, I don't. Like the deposition's getting moved.
No, that's where Steve and I differ.
Hang on.
Don't.
Hang on, let me finish though. They said, can you at least verify if this is the case? Has they been moved? And I'm like, yeah, they've been moved. But I knew this last week. But again, UNIRock doesn't care about the details, right? He doesn't care. And I know why. I know why they were moved. And I'm sure Kyle knows why too. And I'm sure that he's not thrilled with it. But we're not going to get into the details of why they were moved yet.
But also,
eventually that will come out because it's will be public record in the case.
Legitimate questions about shit that we've said, which is what Steve just described. Fine, go for it. Random shit that other people have said we've said, go ask them about it instead of us. We got shit to do.
Yeah, no, I get that as well, but I don't mind, like, especially people that I know very well. And they just, I've done it myself.
Go bug Steve about it. Don't bug me about it, because I'm probably going to ignore you because I don't give a shit.
But I'll tell you what, though. A lot of people are going to get this from now on. When you message me something, and instead of I'm just going to be like, look at the source. What do you think? Not me telling you that these people are idiots. I mean, if I usually get to the point where I'm just like, do you really think you need to ask me about this? But certain things like have the depositions been moved? That's a fair question. I don't mind that. It's not that private information because it was already put out. But what the dates are, that's not out there. Have I ever put the dates on the deposition? Now, I told people privately, but I've also said these are the dates that I have, and they might change. And then after I found out they changed,
whatever. Let's get the fuck out of here and stream for 3 hours.
All right, Boolinator, take us out. What do you got? Say what you got to say, and let's go home.
The only thing I have to say is I don't deal with these people. I block them as soon as I notice what they're doing, and I will report people impersonating. Like, that's just me. Like, don't try me.
Only report people that are going against terms of service.
Terms of service, yes, that's the point. Don't false report, but report if need be.
Yep.
And I need 10 more Patreons, even for $1 or $2. 10 more.
Oh yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that fucking bell and go to my channel and go to Bool's channel or we're gonna fist fight you. Bye.